Good morning, everybody, and welcome to TPP The Peasent Podcast, the Dayz console podcast that's dedicated to the game. Today we have some absolutely wicked guests, and of course, a couple of brand new co-hosts. I'm the Greedy Peasant, and we'd like to welcome you to the podcast. First of all, our co-hosts, Smileysgotagun. Welcome, Smiley. Thank you for joining us. Nope, just thrown the mic on mute straight up. There's going to be some yelling over there.
Alright, how's that?
There we go.
I'm back?
Back. Welcome back.
Ah, sorry.
That's it. That's what it's
Had to do
about.
the old unplug and replug.
And yell at it and scream and
Oh, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. This is gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh.
A lot of fun.
Welcome. And of course, our other co-host,
Yeah.
Mr. ADKcue. Welcome, bud.
Good morning, good afternoon, how are we all?
Going well. All right, we have some absolutely wicked guests on the show today. All these guests are Twitch streamers. They run and play Dayz and some other games as well. We're not too worried about the other games. We're more focused on the Dayz and their knowledge of games since they've been streaming it. Straight off the bat, we have FlameGuard. Welcome, FlameGuard. Mr. Dmtripamine. We have Kain vorhees. And if anyone doesn't know this outfit, we have the Warden. Welcome, guys. How you going?
Howdy. Yeah, doing good, mate. Pleasure to be here.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having an absolutely lovely day. Our chat is absolutely packed with people. We're going to start off with our one-on-ones. I'm going to roll across to Mr. FlameGuard. Mr. FlameGuard, how are you, bro?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. And how long have you been streaming on Twitch for?
Around a year now.
12 months? God, that time's passed quick, hasn't it? And how long have you been playing the game that we love on console, Dayz?
Probably about a year also.
A year, so kicked them off both at the same time. Did streaming and Dayz go hand in hand? Is that what drew you to start streaming?
Not really. It's just
coincidence? And how often do you play
Yeah.
Dayz a week?
Probably about like 10 hours a week.
10 hours a week? That's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. FlameGuard, well, welcome to the show.
Yep.
Mr. Dmtripamine, how are you, bro?
Doing good, mate. Yourself?
Very well. And how long you been rolling on Twitch for?
I started in October of 2021, I believe. So going on, what's that, about 16 months, maybe?
Yeah, nice.
Like, streaming full-time and stuff, yeah.
Streaming full time? Very, very nice. And how long you been playing Dayz on console?
Well, I've been following it forever, and I kind of missed the boat. When they dropped it from on the console, I missed like about a year of it. So I think maybe the end of 2019, maybe around 1.06, the start of 2020.
Oh, very nice. And how long?
COVID days.
COVID days. I think a lot of people did definitely kick off a lot of full-time gaming during the COVID days. How?
Yeah, I say that all the time. We've been training for this our whole lives.
Yeah.
Gamers, you know, the pandemic didn't really affect me at all.
I
kind of enjoyed the whole lockdown.
I was completely the same. People say,
Best.
don't go out, stay home. It's like, that's what I already do. And how often do you play Dayz during the week? How many hours would you accumulate?
Or hours. Well, don't really know, but I'm usually on at least, if not every day, at least every second day, just doing a few different things. Maybe it's basically 50% of my life is Daisy.
Yeah. Too many hours that he wishes to admit.
Yeah,
We get ourselves
and
a
that's not a
smacking.
flex. That's definitely not a flex.
No, not a flex. No, definitely. Well, if it's the game that of choice, and I know you're a bit of a variety streamer, you went for a bit of a run through different games for a while there, so sometimes it's very hard to calculate how much time we do put into this game.
Yeah, exactly.
But definitely welcome to the show, my friend.
Yeah, cheers, bud.
Kain Vorhees is a Twitch streamer. How are you, bro?
Good dude, how are you?
I'm going well, going well. How long you been rolling on Twitch for?
I'd say I've properly started streaming, I'd say maybe July last year.
Yeah, nice. One of the early ones to the game. And how long you been playing the game Dayz?
I think pretty much the day it dropped on Dayz, on Xbox. I've been wanting to play it for ages, since it came to PC, and then finally came to Xbox, so here I am.
Yeah.
Since 2019, I think.
Yeah, got it in 2019 when it dropped in as preview, and we got some form of a game that resembles Dayz. And like it has always, it had all the fun times in it with dark nights and raining and duping and all sorts of things happening before community. So, Carol,
Definitely.
how often do you play on a weekly basis?
On a weekly basis, I mean, it can range anywhere from maybe not at all in a week, or I could be playing every day for like 8 hours, depending on how I'm feeling. But yeah, it's a very wide range.
Yeah, so it depends if you delve in binges of Dayz, get into it, spend a week on it,
definitely.
then shy away from it.
Yeah, you've got to have a break every now and then.
Gotta have a break. Oh, welcome to the podcast, bud. Appreciate you coming.
Thank you, dude. Glad to be here.
All right, this is Mr. Warden, our one of the well-known in the CC. We all know by him as Red Booney. Warden, welcome to the podcast.
Yo.
Warden, how long have you been streaming on Twitch for?
Too long.
Too long.
Probably between my two accounts, probably about 2 years on and off.
2 years on and off.
I don't. Due to work, I can't commit to a full-time schedule, so it's sporadic, if anything.
Yeah, well, definitely in your line of work, it would be very hard to keep a steady pace of like consistent streaming. But you've done very well for yourself so far. How long have you been playing Dayz on console?
Since community service came out.
Since the community
I tried
service
it
come in?
before. Tried it when it was just official. Could not stand it, and then when they brought community out, and it was a little bit easier to get the grasps and learn all the ins and outs. That's kind of when I picked it up and just went off with it.
That's it. Got the addiction. Got
Built a
the
reputation
got the
around
bug.
it.
Yeah, 100%. And how often these days do you play Dayz on a weekly basis?
In its current state, not a lot. There's a lot of frustrations, as I've voiced to many of you that's in here right now, but
Is
I'm
it
getting
because you
back
keep
into
falling
it.
through the map every 5 seconds?
That among other
Sunday.
things. That among other things.
That among other things, and I'm
But
sure
obviously we'll discuss that
I'm
later.
sure we're gonna delve right into that. I say that Warden is absolutely pumped to unleash. Welcome to the podcast, bud.
Thanks for having me.
Too easy, and of course, our co-hosts Smileysgotagun and ADKcue. Smiley's a Twitch streamer, been on the run for probably 2 years now. Dives into Dayz quite often. We call her the coastal rat. So she's quite experienced in the freshie field. Loves to meet all you weirdos that hang
freshies.
on the coast.
I met all of you on the coast.
Met all of us on the
What are you
coast.
talking about?
Actually, we met in Twitch, but
Yeah, me
anyway.
through a red you met me through seeing a red screen, to be honest.
That's it. We also have Mr. ADKcue. Now, Q I met all the way back in Roleplayers Oasis, is extremely talented when it comes to roleplay. Has become the Daydot admin after I poached him from Roleplayers Oasis. Extreme experience in the game. It's one of the people that I've looked up to when it comes to my role-playing experience. So, Mr. Q, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here, as usual.
So we've got a large cast today. We're going to have our co-hosts appear with us every week, just to help the conversation go. Obviously, back their own questions. They're a little nervous, so we'll get it all together by a couple of weeks' time. But first,
And a little hungover.
and a little
Just
hungover.
a little hungover as well.
Well, I think we're all a little hungover, but that's just how it is when we game all night drinking.
Getting up at 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning.
That's
what the hell
it.
is this?
That's great.
We're all amazed that Smiley's here on time as well.
No, she's good, she's
That,
good.
that actually blew my mind that she was here on time. I was expecting like this.
I set an alarm. I set an alarm because I knew I'd get in trouble if I wasn't.
That's it, see?
I get in trouble, boss.
Boss will give you a hammer and bring you up. Why are you
That's
late?
why this morning she sent Greedy her number. Ring me, mate.
No, I had faith.
Just in case.
I had faith.
Just in case.
I had faith. All right, so let's get into the podcast. First of all, we'll talk about 1.20, and obviously it's now second hotfix. I don't think as much official was affected, especially in the first hotfix, but the second hotfix, I think there's glitching or disappearing under the map. I got caught by it last night, lost all my gear. I know a lot of people have been caught by it, lost their gear. We'll start off with Warden, because I know he has a lot to say about this. Warden, what's your thoughts on the hotfixes 1.20? What are you enjoying about it, and what are you not enjoying about it?
I think they just try and pump the hot fixes too fast. I get they have issues and they need fixing as soon as possible. But this is 2 hot fixes in a row now that they've thrown out, and it's caused more issues than fixed the ones that were the actual problem. Still problems with adjacents. You can't walk downstairs without falling through the map. If you stand too close, like Smiley and Q right now, I'm surprised they're not falling through the map. They're that close. It's
If I
happened so
crouch, I
many
probably
times
will.
yesterday. Like
Yeah.
yesterday, we were in a log cabin, and Smiley fell through the map like 3 times. She had to log out quite a few times, and it was just
Yeah.
in close proximity to players. Like, if you're gonna fix something, fix it. Take the time that you need. I'd rather them take an extra week to get things right than rush it out and it cause more issues, more dramas. The amount of servers, including a few that I actually help out on, I've had to wipe numerous times because of this 1.0 update. Shouldn't happen in
Me-
every update, having to do server wipes. It should just be implement the new stuff. There you go, carry on. And I think it
It
affects
almost
quite a
seems-
lot of. Go on, Q, sorry.
Yeah, so it almost seems like that they're not doing any playtests on console, and if they do, it must be so bloody minimal. It's not funny.
See,
Oh,
the
exactly what I was about to
advertise-
say. Exactly. Like, did
The
they ever fucking test it?
They advertise on Twitter that they're doing playtests on console and PC, but I never see them actually stream the console side of things. I think their main focus is on PC, and a console will deal with it. They've dealt with
We
it
have
since
always
day one,
been
they
an
can carry on.
afterthought.
I also think they don't have enough people playing it on their actual dev team. I would assume that they all play PC. So the testing
Yeah.
availability that they're doing is they're getting on their game and testing it, on a daily basis, loading up their quick game, running through it, where I don't think they're getting up every day, jumping onto a console like we do, running the map, testing every corner and every nook and cranny. yeah, I do believe there needs to be a lot more testing before they produce it. And I'm not sure what happens between
Yeah,
experimental and the real game, because experimental seems to run super quick and beautiful, and then they put on the actual official servers and it crumbles. Now, the only thing I can think of is there an overworked code that hasn't been refreshed in a long time in official, hence why there's so much issues coming across where experimental's code set has been sitting around for only a little while. I think it was 12 months after the game was released, they then released experimental. And as server...
They shut off the experimental servers.
Yeah, but as server owners and coders, I know a lot of people had no problems with the JSON files because they had files that dated back to 1.15 and they were just running the extras inside of it. So I wonder if it's more of the fact they need to get out there and test that official, or completely remove the files off official completely and sit there and install each server over and over again, because I can imagine the time that takes.
It's kind of
Yeah,
like
but, I
Epic
mean-
saying in chat, you know, console's pretty much just the money earner for them, and most of their money does go into PC. A lot of their money comes from people on console. And we always end up being the
Yeah,
second.
facts.
Yeah, it's always
Think
Always
the,
end
about
up being
it, how many-
second.
yeah,
How
get-
many
They just
servers
need
are
a
on
dedicated.
console right
team.
now?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, there's
Imagine
gotta-
if they
there's
did
this
give
big-
it love, though, the population on here. I mean, holy shit. If they gave this just that little bit more love, like, fuck. Population on Dayz would
I
just
think it's
be beautiful.
like 6,500 servers on console at the minute. So you think that ranges from 15 to $70 a month just spent those servers going to Nitrado, and we've taken their cut off that.
and Daisy taking their cut.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a big cut. It wouldn't be a big cut.
But
No.
you think you times that by a month, and then on top of that, like they're gonna there's other feeds on top that the money's going out of. There's so much money going out in console compared to PC. Because PC you don't have to pay for anything, all there. But console, where people are paying on top. Other than server owners renting servers, which PC there's more servers to rent. There's not just Nitrado.
No, that's right.
That's another thing that we could do with on console is not just Nitrado, an alternative to a server host, which
Yeah.
might help with a lot with the lag issues, stability of the servers and stuff.
Or at least get the
These other
better
alternatives
servers from
that-
Nitrado. You know, things like Minecraft run on a lot bigger servers. And it run, I don't understand why we don't have servers like that from Nitrado.
Once
I
again,
think that's because
popularity.
technically Minecraft's a bigger game.
Yeah, popularity.
Minecraft's a bigger
Yeah.
game.
You'd have
Yeah.
I mean,
6-year-olds
Minecraft's
stealing
number one, let's face it.
their parents' credit cards to buy realms. But Kain Voorhees, what do you think of the 1.2 update and the hot fixes? Do you have anything to add to that?
Well, as for the hot fixes, dude, I'm quite surprised with everything that you guys have been saying because I've been sick for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, so
It was
you missed
a
hot.
bit of an update, so I've not really had. Yeah, I've not had the experience of all of this falling through the map and things like that recently. Now, in past versions of Dayz, 100% every 5 minutes, it's Dayz. But I 100% think that the devs have completely sort of given consoles a second thought when it comes to all of the updates, because I have the opportunity to play Dayz on the PC, and everything you guys have been saying, it's just not a thing. It's so crisp and smooth on Dayz when it comes to bugs and things like that. There's nothing. So although consoles are the inferior platform, I think still they should be so much more stable than they are from what you guys are saying to me. I think it's mad.
Yeah, well, the other point is also that when the actual track record of Dayz, the numbers that were playing it before it jumped on console were dwindling down to nearly the game's end. There was only about 5,000 to 6,000 people And then when console jumped on board that month, it jumped up to 29,000. So there's a large popularity that jumped onto it early on. And then, of course, the game on console, where it first jumped out on preview, was a bit sketchy. There was a lot unknown about it, except for, the YouTubers and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people bailed on it because their numbers dropped right back down to 11,000 the next month. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, but
example
considering
would be-
that, like, sorry, Nate, go ahead.
The example would be of Jeebus Kill Feed. Back when I first started playing, Jeebus Kill Feed, there was maybe 1 million console accounts. Now there's about 3.5, 4 million, but the player base hasn't grown. That's just people making more and more accounts to play the game.
yeah, correct.
The player base
Yeah,
is still the same core amount, even though the numbers say, oh, well, there's 4 million players. No, they're not. Every player's probably got 5, 6 alt accounts.
Yeah.
They need to expand on the player base, and they're not going to do that around someone. Oh, don't play that. Like, this clip's going around on TikTok, YouTube of glitches, the bugs.
Yep,
That's just going to put anyone off playing the game.
yep. I saw a few of them
I
last
think
night.
one of the hardest things as well is with my experience of playing Dayz, that I think not all of the community, but some select few in the community that are very, very, very toxic people, and I know you get that on games that are very similar as well, like Rust or whatever the other one is now.
Yeah.
And I think the community is one of the things that sort of lets the game down because of that. And when people see all these clips going around on YouTube and TikTok, and they're like, oh, well, I don't really want to play with people that are gonna, stab me in the back halfway, 20 minutes down the road. But even though that is part of the game, at the end of the day, it's a survival game, and not everyone's gonna be your friend. But I think some people may just take it that little bit too far.
Oh, definitely. Mr. Dmtripamine, I know you've been surfing around the servers these days. Jump back onto full flavored. What's your thoughts on the update and the hotfixes that are currently rolling out?
Well, to be honest, I haven't really experienced too many issues with like what Warden was saying about the problems that have been created through the hotfixes. I mean, when 1.20 dropped, a big thing for me was just, little things that I think are just unnecessary changes. I'm like, well, why focus on something like that when we have all these other problems? But like, your hot wheel, when you hotkey anything, I don't know why they increase the size of the font. I don't know what it is. Maybe just an aesthetic thing, but I'm not too keen on that. But I've got used to it, like we all do. We get used to the new changes and we just adapt. But those little things kind of, I mean, the most recent one, yeah, falling through the map. That's happened to me quite a lot in the last, I don't know, 4 days. I'm just constantly falling through maps. I'm getting stuck indoors. If I put my foot on a step and try to close a door, and it just throws me all around the place. And my connection's good, so it's not a lag issue. It's but apart from that, I mean, I haven't really experienced too much. I've been playing on a server called Animal Arsenal. You might know of it.
Ooh.
It's pretty
I've heard
chill.
that's quite a lovely server.
It is pretty good.
You would say
whoever
that.
made it, yeah, it's doing a good job.
I played on it too. It is a very.
Yeah,
It's
it's a nice
the
chill
server.
server.
The server they're talking about is a hunting server. It's a lot of civilian style. It's got a base building element to it. Very chill community. Just all about chilling, having fun, and doing whatever you want on the server.
Yeah, so I think I used to be a big official player, and only since I met you guys and the console called that I was like a strictly official, because every community server I jumped in was like, 100 times loot, 50 times loot, full cars, you spawn in, you're fully kitted, and I'm more inclined to play those hardcore servers. I love the struggle. I love to what was it? Greedy, make me cry. ED, emotional damage type shit. Like I love that. Survival addicts. That's where I really appreciate the game more. and you can make it all the way to Tizzy with nothing but a freshy clothes on, and you feel that sense of success and satisfaction of getting there alive and struggling. And it's not always about the loot. It's just about staying alive.
It's about the journey. It's about the journey.
That's right.
The events of
100%.
Forte
Journey.
as you go through that journey too. I think that's what brings us all into
So I'm
this
wondering
game.
how it's affected official. Official since 1.2, I haven't really dabbled in much official, so I don't really know how it's affected
Other
it,
than the duping thing, where you log out and you log back in and your character's still there, I ain't really seen much
Nah, I think
official, to be honest.
that when it comes to this update and hot fixes, there was a lot of fixes in game and a lot of fixes when it came to the customization of servers. I think a lot of it affected community rather than official. I think official pretty much got away with it unscathed, apart from obviously this falling through the floor or this glitching or finding little portals where you disappear under the map, and they've raised the water height under the map to try and stop the swimmers. And I think that's what's happening, that barrier where we used to fall in, bounce a few times and then go back up. I think it's the point the game is catching the water underneath and therefore registering under the map. So that's why it's like you're walking around and everyone can see you walking around, but your actual view is going underneath.
Yeah.
I think the best I saw of it was yesterday with Q, and all I hear is and on across your screen, really, while you were streaming, he was like a dolphin up and down, running down a hill, trying to get out of underneath the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, that gets really bad, and it's not just falling through the map randomly. It's a fixed gameplay, because it's whenever I'd crouch to go quiet walk through a building or something, you go to walk upstairs crouching and boom, you're instantly under. So it's almost you can't crouch walk anywhere.
No,
That's what I'm getting.
and I laid down
I haven't
and
tried
fell.
that.
I laid down and
tried
fell
that.
straight through the map, and I was stuck there for 10 minutes trying to get up and smashing my controller and getting frustrated and listening to Zeds, chase after me. And
I have noticed as well a lot of inventory glitching. Like, really, you couldn't put your gun away to get your baseball bat out quite a few times yesterday.
Yeah.
That's happening a lot more as well.
Well,
Where you're having to relog to be able to do anything.
well, that was happening after the fact that I'd get out of the underground. So once I got out of the underground and out of that glitch, it would then lock my inventory, and you couldn't even do the old let's just lay down and jump or jump to try and unglitch it.
Yeah,
It
just sent you straight back underground.
It just sends you straight back underground. So now you're at a point where you're balancing between, trying to fix your game, play the game. Yes, it can be quite painful. Quite painful. FlameGuard, what about you? In 1.20, what are you finding that you like, and have you found any of these problems?
I've fallen over the underground a couple times. Pretty annoying. And the server I play on had to get wiped because of all the community issues.
Yeah, that's definitely
It,
annoying.
Which server is that
Yeah.
you play on?
It's called SGBC.
What's that stand for?
SG Battlegrounds.
Yeah, nice. So, was that a heavily modded server?
I would say no, it's not that modded.
Yep. But because of the hotfix 2. Or number 2, the devs decided, because of the expansion of loot and the loot being in the actual systems, that they would say to the community that it was time to wipe. Just to try and help them with their loot economy. I don't think as much it was more the fact that it was a necessary thing, and I don't think they explained that quite as much. I know a lot of people lost a lot of progress, and a lot of servers lost population due to having to wipe. How much stuff did you lose in your wipe?
We lost quite a bit. Lost, everything.
And that could be
A lot of
quite.
people left the server because of it.
And how much time do you think you lost in your server?
Oh, I don't know. A good amount of time. I
Yeah.
pulled a good couple all-nighters on it.
Yeah, and I think that's some of the frustration that people find, that they dedicate so much time to a game, and then it comes up to update where you're looking forward to, hey, we're going to get all this fixed, and you're going to get some pretty masks, and all of a sudden, I got to start again. I got to go back on my 5 or 6 all-nighters that I did with my friends and all the fun times we have in this base that we got perfect, and no one can raid us. I've got to go again.
Yeah.
It makes me glad I'm
Okay.
not a server owner anymore.
It can be a...
It's such headaches for server owners. Like, I feel for Teabag every update. 'Cause he has 5 of his own servers, plus he deals with like 10 other server owners to sort out their coding. And I keep pimping him out for more help on more servers. His stress levels on update days must be freaking astronomical.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't do much in the DM ranges. I know he just sits and works through a program of all the servers he's got to roll through. So, yeah, I can't imagine. I did my 3 and it was stressful. I know GDS Queen did hers and she was having a hard time with hers because she's got a trader. And there is a point now where a person who doesn't have as much skills in a coding run can buy themselves a server, deck it out with mods that they can find, but then it comes down to the point where these troubleshoots come in and these problems come in where you know multiple duping items that are causing lag that has your frame rate goes down to half a frame. Like I got near one of the traders and I thought my Xbox was going to detonate. That's how bad it was. So it must be very, very frustrating that without this extreme knowledge and being able to find workarounds, that you have to then rely on the community to try and help you and try and clutch start your thing, because you turn in your server and go, I don't know what's going on. Even with my coding experience, I had no idea what was going on or how to fix it.
That's where you've created the server owners chat in your Discord, and there's 100 server owners in there that all help each other out. Oh, I'm having this problem. Like that's the community that we're building on console. It's not, oh, my server's better than yours. It's, oh, you're having an issue. This is what I did to sort it.
Yes, and that's probably
I don't think you get that anywhere else.
No, and that's what they do. I do find that in the Greedy Peasant Discord, especially in the server owners, a problem will arise and they'll ask the other owners, and the other owners will give feedback. And we've got people who have been owning servers for 3 months. We've got people that have been owning multiple servers since you could community. So I believe being in the community and just reaching out to people and saying, hey, this is wrong with my server, this is what's going on. I think the Xbox community steps up and tries to help people out.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting come 1.21 to see Smiley's views on it, because obviously she's just started coding herself. She hasn't really had her big first update of, oh shit, I've got all this to deal with, so it'd be interesting on her thoughts. From the
I
next
actually just left
update
it.
of to...
I didn't do anything.
I don't think she's updated it
Yeah.
yet.
I'm
like,
talking about...
oh,
I'm talking about the next update when they add all the new stuff.
next
Like,
Yeah.
it's not just copy and paste it in. You actually have to go through and do stuff.
oh yeah, still not going to do anything about that.
That's it. You don't get the new stuff.
Be there.
Yeah, that's all right. When the new stuff comes out,
Smiley's still running.
yeah.
Smiley's still running on 0.1.
Yeah, don't worry about your bases being wiped or anything, because I've still got bases there from 1997.
That's it. Before the game was thought of.
Yep.
She's been
And,
preempting it.
glitches and bugs, they're all there. Kept them all. Anything that's lagging, it's still there.
Those
Quite an
nostalgic
experience.
bugs takes us back to the old days.
And I know
It does.
I know a couple of yous play on Smiley's server. Do you find since the hot fix that you still have the same issues, or because she hasn't
Well,
updated?
actually, It runs super smooth. I mean, driving. Thanks, Ward. It means like it's basically the smoothest server. I mean, it's low pop at the moment. There's a lot of people that have got their own little niche. I know King and Queen have got their own little setup. I've got my setup. I know Ponce and Aurora have got their little setup. So there's definitely building going on to add to that congestion on the server, but the driving is super smooth. That's kind of a benchmark for me playing different servers, is obviously lag factor, congestion with structures and building, and no, it's super smooth. The only issue is when Sally was looking for a cow, she couldn't find a cow, so she added in fucking 1,000 cows and
there's a little admin abuse on the server, is what you're saying.
I want more cows.
And I was just like trying to catch them in the eggs, and they were fucking. It was like 15 of them, but I was like seeing the one FPS.
Didn't you guys turn into scientists trying to see how much meat you could get off them by blowing them up with grenades?
Yeah. So the other night, right? There's this cow spawn, but right near where King and Queen are building, and we all got grenades, and we went around and made a big circle around them, and then launched grenades at them all at the one time. And, it was the most beautiful thing I've actually ever seen.
Well,
cows exploding everywhere. And yeah, you're right though. Then we tested the meat theory. That's totally why we did it, Nate. It's because we were testing the meat theory, not because we just wanted.
Which is one of the additives that's added into 1.20, but I think it's. I don't know. I don't think it's quite what it should be. I've had chickens that produce 4 breasts. I've had fish that produce 4 fillets, and yet I shoot a cow. Shoot a pig 3 times, I get 3 steaks. So I still think there's a little bit of work to be done when it comes to how they adjust those steak portions versus damage. But how many steaks were you getting out of it with grenade in them?
Well, that's the thing, with the if they were like full on, like if they were right near the grenades, you didn't get any. Some of them you didn't get any, or you got 1. And then the further out they were, then we would get sort of more the standard, maybe, I don't know, 4 to 6. But right in that hot zone where all the grenades landed, you were a couple there that actually had 0.
It just hides and bones. Obliterated the meat to nothing. Well, that's a good
Yeah.
That's a good little
I
factor.
have a quick question. I have a quick question for everyone as well. What's your thoughts on the change to the user interface of having to press multiple buttons to combine now? Like how they've changed it. How's everyone finding it? 'Cause to me, it's needless the amount of stuff you have to do now just to make something and combine it.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm biased. I'm biased with that one because my B button's fucked. So now I can actually combine things.
So
you're the
now we know.
Q.
Now we
You're
know
the
who
reason.
implemented it.
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I thought that. I thought, why did they change that? And then I thought, well, maybe there's something in the future that they want to add that they need just to be able to tap B. Maybe they've obviously done it for a reason.
Yeah, but
Maybe they're looking at reconfiguring things because maybe we'll be able to do something else future.
But really, it hasn't.
I don't know.
It hasn't added to the combination. I think holding B and the current situation with that combination, I think they've improved it because you no longer tap B, get kicked out, have to go back into your inventory, go back down to where you have to be, hit that again, next one. Now you can stay in your inventory, combine directly off that, unless of course you're using something like bigger than a gun. But I was doing bullets and I was just easily combined.
I didn't think of that.
So
Yeah, I didn't
Should
think
be
of
the
that.
reason
That's
why they've
actually
done
a
it,
good
to
point.
be
That
honest.
is a good point, but I don't see why they couldn't have just kept it where you press B and then done. Because I'm pretty sure that's how it used to be. You'd press B to combine things and you'd be completely fine. Like, you wouldn't get kicked out of your inventory or anything like that. And for some reason, I think maybe 1.18.
yeah, that's
made
when it
so
threw
you
it
get
out.
kicked out of your inventory.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
But I
was
think
thinking,
having multiple buttons
oh.
to combine things just needless. It doesn't add anything. it's not worth having.
How's that affected
I
you,
must
Greedy? I
say,
know
though-
you're someone who plays on the HUD, no HUD a lot. So how's the
Oh, yeah.
holding down B affected the no HUD situation?
Well, I placed.
It's basically the
I,
same.
well, I was playing no HUD for a while there, and it was painful because, especially not being familiar or inbuilt into my brain, and still having the let just combine and go, I would then realise 10 minutes later that I actually hadn't combined them, and I'd left that on the floor, or it was still stacked up in my inventory. So it's
It is quite entertaining trying to watch Greedy no hood when he's trying to make raps.
well, yeah,
So I'm trying to remember which one
That's
it is,
the-
which one it is he
yeah.
needs to cycle through.
yeah, that's
Oh,
the
shit,
only
I'm
one I
gonna
get
rap
caught
and
on
have
too.
raps.
It's like, fuck, I gotta make raps. Ah, God, all right, give me a sec. Get off the HUD. Otherwise, I end up making face masks. I don't know why. I don't know why. Well, as the game progresses and moves through, obviously, the updates, vehicles are starting to become a bigger thing in the game. What type of vehicle would you like to see be implemented in the game? We'll start with FlameGuard.
I would love to see a helicopter.
A helicopter?
Yeah. Not sure why. Cool.
I think it's more of the pinnacle of Dayz, that ability to be able to fly over the land, guns drawn out the side, couple of buddies in it, army music going, the full kit and caboodle, tearing up the land because you're fully kitted. I would also like a helicopter. Whether it supports it or not is a completely different story. Anyone got thoughts on helicopters?
They are fun.
Wasn't
Yeah.
there?
I must say, they're
I'd
fucking fun.
say,
Yeah.
I'd say in the current state, no. Can you imagine trying to fly and ending up through the map?
Nah, it's definitely not at a state where you could. We fly enough, not so much in cars,
There's a
but
lot of
We don't need
Yeah,
helicopters.
you'd be a freshie
Unrelated.
walking down the coast, and the next thing you know, a body falls from the sky.
There's
Like,
a lot.
no.
There's a lot of progression to come along before that happens.
yeah, a lot of mechanics. What about you,
I do
Trip?
believe
Oh
on
no, go.
release-
Yeah, go.
Sorry.
No, go,
Yeah,
Q.
on release in the files, it does mention something about helicopters and stuff like that. So originally they were thinking about adding them.
But, yeah.
But yeah, I think the car issue, especially when it got to the point where they were trying to work out gravity on Xbox, there was a stage there at the last major car update that cars went, when they first came in, they were super light, so you'd just be driving and hit a hill and Harry Potter off float away, and then they turned them super heavy, so you couldn't actually, you'd be driving at like 20k an hour, the shell would be on the ground, and that's a lot of the factor that's in with the cars is the gravity or the command to how much pressure the world pulls down on us, objects, and of course cars. So I think when it comes to the current settings, I do believe a helicopter would be, basically you wouldn't be able to lift it off the ground. The amount of flight power to get it up and over would be absolutely crazy. But
I don't know. I like Phil's idea. He wants a bicycle. I'd like a bicycle.
I think a lot of people have been calling out for bikes.
That's
Yeah.
just because he is one, though, isn't it,
Pretty
Smiley?
bad.
That's true. He is. He's the human bicycle. I like to ride.
Well, that's it, but
I
I'd
think
like to
one
ride
thing
Phil.
that no one has said, which it's already sort of in the game, a train.
ooh, yeah.
Actually
yeah.
be able to get a moving train that you can maybe,
Yeah, but
like,
you have
it
to
just
catch the
constantly
train.
runs. Yeah, something that just constantly, it's always running and you've got to try and jump on it. And maybe, there's really high tier gear on there that you can grab. Sort of like how we've got now, but, obviously it's not moving.
Yeah.
But if you could jump on there, get to where you need to go, at the end of the day, it goes to all of, like, the really decent spots on the map. So, I don't know, apart from Northwest, but still, close enough.
No, but it'd be still good.
Train would be pretty cool.
But practical-wise,
Brilliant idea.
yeah, practical-wise, in that same instance of having the ability to use the train lines. The old miner's cart where one person would stand either side
Yeah.
and pump it. I think that's practical, rather than a whole train that's obviously then got to explain why this train is consistently going around an apocalypse map. And if it was an electric, if it was an electric
Yeah, I mean,
train,
who's
but then,
driving
Solar
this
power.
thing?
Solar power, bro.
yeah, solar powered train.
Steam train.
But then you need someone to fuel it.
Steam.
Maybe that's what you have to do. Maybe you have
Yeah.
to fill it with water. Maybe you have to light the fire. Maybe you have
Fill
to
it full
keep
of
it.
coal and stuff,
That's it,
yeah.
and keep it maintained to be able to move it. That might be a whole different kettle of fish. But you also got to, when you're implementing vehicles, got to keep it in line with the apocalypse. I think bicycles is hands down the best thing that could ever come to the game. Even to the point is, you just get in, jump on a bicycle, grab some food, and go for a bush trek. Start launching off Sniper Hill and pulling backflips off the cliffs up the north.
60s.
Yeah, the last thing you hear before you
Had-
die
had
is
a little
bling
bell.
bling.
Have a little belt. Yeah, well, that's
No, that
Yeah.
is so
You
annoying.
gotta have the bell.
You just hear bring, and then there's Noah behind you.
Bring,
with a
bring.
flag.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Noah or his bicycle.
I mean, I'd like to see it's not a vehicle, but that you could build like a little cart that you can put like logs and planks and stuff in, and make it easier to move building supplies.
Yeah,
from,
transport sled.
like the tree line to your base. Like a mini
Ah.
cart that you can like carry like 10 logs, like 2 stacks of planks, like a few stacks of planks.
Someone's been playing the
Yeah.
forest.
No, I haven't.
Oh.
But it is. It's
I
that-
hadn't even
that-
heard of
what's
the
it
grandma
called?
cart.
It's
Well,
I
they
thought
have,
he was talking about a grandma cart. Little old lady
But-
carts
they have
they
that
push
in the
when they go
forest
grocery
where you
shopping.
can make you can make an improvised sled cart just out of sticks. It doesn't have wheels. It's just like a sled that you push around
yeah,
out of wooden sticks.
yeah.
So it would make sense too.
Yeah, I would also
mean,
like a
like,
drag
you
cart
could
like they
also
have
link
for
it in.
like in Alaska, where they just throw a sling over and there's a little, they put all their stuff in a little sled behind them and drag you along. So you wouldn't be able to run.
Yeah.
You would have to physically drop the rope or take the rope off to gain your run ability again. But I do think that would be very, very beneficial.
Oh yeah, they could do
Yeah.
that animation like when you're when you're half dead and you're sort of you're doing the zombie walk, but it'll be like that when you're pulling it along to be like that little.
It's a bit of strain into it.
Yeah, just
Um,
a
Got it-
little
got the
bit
strain,
I think
faster
so
one
you're
thing
like
that would be
you-
cool as well.
carry a barrel, carrying a barrel or
If
a
they- if they
crate.
ever
Like, it'd have to
bring-
be faster. You'd have to have some incentive to use those things. Like put a couple barrels or some crates on it. Maybe it has like a 500 slot you can carry. Like it'd have to be a little faster than just walking it with your hands to give some incentive to create.
I don't think it has to be faster. I just think you have to be able to move more stuff.
Yeah, as long
Yeah,
as you can
move more
move
stuff,
more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, you
if
can move like
yeah.
a small tent's worth of stuff or something.
Yep.
I think that's really all
Yeah,
you need.
like-
Yeah.
I saw one of Smoke's TikToks and he caught a guy out carrying a sea chest down the coast. Like he's literally in the tree line and Smoke caught a glimpse of him and killed him. Whereas if he had like something a little bit easier to carry, that it wasn't slow walking, just a little bit faster than that, he probably would have got away. But the inability to carry as much just with your hands, if you've got something like a vehicle or something. Or not a vehicle, but something you could put stuff in to move things around a bit easier. A lot of people would feel safer moving big items, big ticket items. How many times have people found a barrel at one location like, oh, I want that for my base, but I'm not walking it all the way back.
Yeah, 100%.
Whereas if you had a little cart thing, it'd be a lot easier to, alright, I can do that.
Especially
I
if you
ain't gotta
can
worry
just
about-
strap it on like a belt and not have to worry about having it in your hands, where you can, you're free to shoot someone if you see anyone, but you can't run. I think that's
Yeah,
just-
like having
that's
have
perfect.
like a quick release rather than having to press and hold the button and do the full animation. Like
Yeah.
press a button, oh shit, it detaches. You can be straight into action, or strapped around you and you've still got your gun out so you can still defend yourself.
Yeah, and even in that, even if it was, there was a counter to taking it off fast or taking it off slow. So your sled would be like a rope around your chest, like the Hannah bag sits. if you wanted to disengage it quick, you could break the rope, and then getting to the action straight up, or you could press a button, like hold a button, and it would animate and take it off. But then with cutting it, you would then have to then apply another rope to be able to move the sled again. I think that there has to be, with everything we add in, there has to be a balance between the advantage to what it gives the player and obviously the disadvantage it gives the player.
Yeah,
So one of the things they could do with this, if they ever bring Namalsk into this, for instance, or just a snowy map onto console, you could maybe capture some wolves or something and use it as like a dog sled, or things like that.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
that'd be cool.
There's a lot you can expand on with something like that. So,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to move on to community servers. I'd like to get your thoughts on donations from players when it comes to getting perks on a community server. Is it the right thing that should be done, even though it helps keep the server not only up and active and the cost out of an owner's pocket, but it also obviously incentives the player to stay on the server and play? Well, what's your thoughts on donations for benefits on a community server when it comes to Dayz? More of the, I guess, pay to win side of it. We'll start off with Mr. Warden. Oh no, yeah, go, Smiley.
Go on, Smiley. Go,
No, I was just gonna say actually, my views are, I don't think there's a problem with it, but if it's advertised up front, if that's what the server's about, you know what I mean? So
Yep.
it's like you're coming into the server. This is how it runs, the whole server. I don't like the idea of having a server and then people doing it under the table, so to speak, and then that causes the
Yeah, so up front is
balance.
definitely...
Yeah.
So it's okay as long as it's up front and you know what you're walking into.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
will.
but
Yeah,
then the problem-
exactly.
Yeah, the problem I see with that though, then basically all you're going to have is a server full of people that are paying to get these advantages, because you're not going to go pay on a server that's pay to win and not pay to win. So then it becomes more of a donation to keep the server alive and turning more into a profit for the server owner, which doesn't feel right to me.
See,
Yeah,
going
but
on that.
it's for the rich people, Q. It's a
But
place
going-
for the rich people to live.
Kids
Not
with
us.
credit card.
Not us, Q. We don't go to those servers, Q.
Going on that. Going off what Q
It's
just said.
Yeah.
It's alright.
One of the servers that I'm involved in, they run a Patreon system,
Yep.
and the money that goes from that, everyone in the Discord can see it.
Yep.
Everyone gets to know what that money's gone on to runtime. There's nothing ever hidden from that, and it's that transparency that people continue to donate to the Patreon or subscribe to the Patreon because it's a subscription.
Yeah, when there's good
they get.
transparency, then yeah, I'd agree with it then.
But for me, my servers, I only ever put on ADKcue and all this. You can get a code off Nitrado. I put the code in, and they click the link of that code, and they can add runtime if they see fit.
Yeah, it's
They
called
like the
server
and
boosting.
enjoy the server, and they want to
Yeah.
boost the runtime on the server.
Yep.
That's what I always used to pump. If you like the server, regardless whether you boost it or not, we're gonna, like me and the other admins and the owners, we're gonna extend it when we need to. If you guys want to add extra days, the link's there. A lot of people that enjoyed the servers, they do that off their own back. And I think at one point we'd got like 200 days just from people enjoying the server. We were getting like 10, 15 queues constantly. People like, can we have priority queue? Can we have priority queue? And we were like, no, we're not doing priority queue, because that means that, similar to what Conquest's going through now, or when, but I don't know if it's still the same, they had 70 queues plus another 100 people on priority queue, so you were in a queue for like an hour,
The
and then
queue and the
another
queue.
50 people would join that all got priority, and then you'd get pushed back again, and it's just like, it causes so much dilemma. Like,
Yeah,
the
well,
reason that I ever saw a priority queue was if an admin needed to get on a server to get to a trader.
yeah, or for greedy.
No, never for greedy.
I
Never for greedy.
I get a few
ban list for
priority
greedy,
queues when I do
unwhitelisted.
my spotlights, especially in the busy servers, and that's where exactly it works well, Warden, where someone or a guest comes onto your server and you need to be able to get them in quickly. I don't think it works as well when it's like Conquest, where you've got a 70 slot server, you've sold 150 priorities. What happens to priority? Priority's gone out the window. I do think the boost in via Nitrado is the best system that I've ever seen. I don't like touching people's money, and I don't like when somebody, donated to my server and say, "Hey, when I could do it," I was like, "Well, I don't want to take your money. I'd rather you put it on there. It changes the amount all itself. You'll have a little message in Discord to say thank you, but apart from that, the transaction doesn't come anywhere near me."
I've played.
It can make
servers
things
before
uncomfortable
where-
between people, money, especially when there's friendships involved.
Yes.
I've played
be very
servers
uncomfortable.
before where the server owners. This is before JSON files were a thing, so all these complex bases that you see now. He was like before any of that. He was charging people $100 to have a custom base built in that you could still raid like easy as hell because there was like 5 entrances to get in and out of.
$100.
You wanted to upgrade it, it was like X amount to upgrade it. He was getting like maybe 2-3 grand a week off people buying custom bases. Get raided once, you don't see them again on the server.
Wow.
It's just like people were spending ridiculous amounts of money, stuff, getting raided and leaving, and the server owner's just there laughing, which is also against terms of service for
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nitrado
Nitrado.
and Bohemia.
Yeah, but it's
It's
not very
just
well
like-
policed. It's not very well policed.
No.
No.
Has anyone
I-
paid
yeah.
for anything?
Yeah.
Has anyone ever paid for
No.
a priority,
Oh,
paid for
I've
server?
donated.
Yeah, I've donated.
I've donated.
I've donated, yeah.
super
I've
time.
donated. Yeah, I've donated because only just sort of, not much, just to,
More to friends.
a bit of
more to
pocket,
friends
a bit,
servers and
yeah,
stuff like that.
a little bit of pocket change, and that was early on. That was when I played, but now I have too many favorites, so.
I've put runtime on for some of T-Beg's servers. I put runtime on for she's an old server, an old hardcore one. And
Yeah, I just used to
people
put it
that
on
I'm
a
close to in the
racist.
community have added runtime to their servers or given them the money to add the runtime, and then they've sent me a screenshot. Right, yeah, this has gone on the runtime, whatever. But never to an outside server.
Never actually
And everyone here knows
purchased.
how liberal I am with my money, so.
Yeah, fair enough. So it's
very generous.
yeah, it's a very either way, depending on how it's used, it could be beneficial. It can keep the server going, or it could be a money pool that can't be accounted for, or a useless buy when it comes to some of the priorities. We'll move on to
Yeah, you got to think of the
Yeah,
server
go.
owner as well, because like they can they can then as well feel obliged, if someone's dropping huge amounts as well,
Just
then
keep it
that
open.
server owner sort of feels obligated, keep it open, and also just obligated to that player,
It brings in favoritism.
Yep.
Yeah, but maybe in an uncomfortable way, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
yeah, like you'd be like, oh, this person just dropped to like 200, and
Yeah, as the server owner, are you
now I've
then
now I've
committed
got to be friends
to?
with them.
That's
Now
right.
Now I've got to like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got no
Be
choice
nice
to
to
like them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go, oh, hey. Yeah,
Spare
swings
booty
both
there,
ways.
Warden.
Warden, you drop your
Oh,
trash on the ground, bro.
Yeah.
You drop your trash on the ground.
Wow.
So we'll move on to we'll we'll draw this out to FlameGuard. It's been a little quiet. What are the best or hardest lessons you've learnt while playing Dayz? Just watch you're not on mute.
I think
Oh
he's
yeah, I
gone to
was
sleep.
on mute.
Yep, there you
Thank
go. Yeah, no, you're good,
Yeah.
you're good. Yeah, no.
My bad. My
It
bad.
it happens because you want to keep the mic silent, so you put it on mute while everyone else is talking.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Probably to watch out who you hang out with. I'm not best I can give you there.
Yeah, well, the hardest lesson is but trusting someone who you may not, you may have met and end up getting escorted all the way to Northwestern Airfield with a bullet in your back because you're a mule. Yeah, definitely. I think we've all learnt that.
We've all had that done.
Yeah, 100% learned that lesson.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
What about you, Trip? What's the hardest or the best lesson you've learnt when it comes to the game we love?
Well, I mean, it's a tough question because, I mean, playing for so long, we've learned a lot, and I think we have to learn new things every update, and plus, like I was telling you guys before, you know, putting in over 13,000 hours into a game over the course of 3-4 years, you assume that that person will be, you know, master and know the game inside out, but we're having to constantly learn each update. Like, I mean, I know emotional damage for me was a mega learning curve. Like, just finding out what I could use to harvest stones. Like, I was constantly learning, but a lesson I learned is that a red boonie makes an awesome porta potty. If you, travel around.
Hey, no violence on stage. No violence. Save it to the end. You kill each other on the outro. We like to keep our guests in one piece for the majority of the show. So it's so you think the best lesson is the developing learning curve that Dayz consistently brings.
And I quite like that. You know, it keeps the game fresh. I know we get frustrated with things and the things that we like. I mean, we can all remember the times where duct tape ruled supreme. The god tier item of duct tape, fixing everything. Like, I really fucking love that. But you know, it was. I got used to it. It was frustrating. Like, when your shit gets ruined, and you're like, fucking leather sword kit. Come on, man. Jesus Christ. Like, but something. Yeah, no, I enjoy the constant having to learn and adapt to the new changes. Whether I like or agree with the changes they put in, it's a game that keeps you coming back and learning constantly.
What about the
Smiley, the hunting scope.
Sorry.
The
what?
double zoom in the hunting scope, where you can zoom in and out on the hunt.
Yeah.
Smiley did not know until I told
changed
her,
my
and changed her
world.
life forever.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I turned pro after that. That was, yeah.
And I think that's some of the thing
I was
that
playing
we
for a
all.
whole year before I knew you could double tap LB. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, I think that's more the fact of what we went back to last podcast about should there be tutorials. I think a lot of the known game mechanics aren't always devolved or out there for everybody to know on how to do things, and you do go through time not realizing you could do this or not realizing you could do that, and somebody says, hey, do you know you can do this, and your world's changed. It's mind blown.
Yeah.
Well, so someone's missing a trick from running teaching lessons on Dayz, charging people to make lessons.
There you go.
Teach them the ways.
Yeah, yeah.
Go for a run.
$100 a lesson.
$100 a lesson. Go for a run. Guaranteed. Know everything that's involved in the game.
Lesson 1 gets shot in the back.
That's it. Don't trust anyone.
Thanks for the money.
Thanks for the money. That's
Yeah.
it.
Come for a run with us and we'll completely torture you for the next hour for
That's
$100.
it. So you get used to
These
it.
We're
Yeah,
gonna toughen
you
you
get
up, princess.
made to lie
Get
down
out
and
there.
get bloody abused.
That's it.
Hey, Smiley.
Kain, what
Yeah,
about you?
Get some fingering.
That's it. Kain, what about you? What's the hardest or the best lesson you've learned in the game?
I'd say the best lesson that I think we've all learned the hard way is never, ever trust a freshie. Ever.
Oh, they're
the
savages.
amount of times that
Fuck freshies.
even if they've got, like, I don't know, even if they're literally just completely fresh off the coast, you know, they've got absolutely nothing apart from that one pair, they will still try and kill you, even if you're giving them
They're
food.
the most dangerous. Yeah.
Right, the amount of times I've helped someone, or tried to at least, and then next thing you know, they're trying to punch me in the back of the head, or, you know, they've got that IJ that's been sitting there, you know, and they've been waiting patiently for that right moment for me to go in my inventory, and then they shoot me in the head, knock me out, and yeah, I just never trust a freshie ever.
And maybe that's
Never again.
one of the harshest lessons that you learn in Dayz, that the beginner player or the brand new starting player is as dangerous as the geared player. I don't think many games
100%.
I don't think many games have that caliber in it, where if you take all your quality loot down to the coast, you are pretty much guaranteed to find people who don't care about their lives, who will do anything to manipulate, attack, trick you into subduing or cornering you so they can beat you up and take all your stuff. I don't think any other game adds that mechanic to it.
I know, I mean, all it takes is a BK-18 to the head to knock you out now, even with a helmet.
That's
and
it.
You,
That's knuckle
it.
dusters.
That's all you need.
Knuckle dusters, you can
Yeah.
you can't even see it.
Yeah, and then-
If you're skilled with your fist, if you're a good fister, then you can get your fist right up in there and do some,
We discovered-
damage.
We discovered Greedy can get elbow deep last night.
That's it. Elbow deep.
That's right. Well, we all remember when the
I guess
the
that-
shovel was OP.
Yeah, well, the
Oh,
shovel.
the
Because we
shovel.
knocked out two geared guys.
Oh.
One heavy hit. Knocked
That
out
was
a
my
geared
weapon
player.
of choice, man. I'd be
Yeah.
like running
That was
around
one
like,
of the-
like you seen all these guns go, nah. Oh, here it is, the shovel. All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Bang, bang,
And it
down.
was so fun.
Yeah.
So fun. Just knocking
Oh, I
them on
miss
the head.
those days.
But it was also.
that stream that... Go ahead, Grady.
No, you go.
I was just gonna say, it's like that stream that you were in, where I think I was in Zelenogorsk or something, and out of nowhere I hear a car, and then I see a guy, and then I don't know why, but he's got a bandage in his hand, he is geared to the absolute teeth, and I one-shot him, and I get everything I need. There's night vision, there's automatic rifles, and I've just had the quickest loot up ever. And that's what I mean. It's all it takes, just one shot to lose everything.
Yeah, just one shot.
That's it, and that's probably the best thing about the game is that
Yeah.
when will it happen?
There's always that gear guy that comes back to the coast. Every unofficial, always. You just gotta
Always.
find him.
Yeah.
There's
There's a
always the gear guy
Berezino.
on the coast.
Berezino. There's a guy literally makes TikToks off killing freshies at Berezino PD.
Yeah, so there's a market for it.
Yeah. He prides himself. I think he's got like 5,000 followers on TikTok just of people watching him kill freshies as like fully geared. And he's not like he's got just one account. He's got like 15 accounts. He dies on one, logs out straight into the next account, carries on.
Yeah, there's a few of
Sounds
them.
like we need to do a freshie trip to
Yeah,
Derry on
Freshie
official.
Hunts is one of them. There was a guy that was a
Which
Berenzino,
official is this?
Berenzino shoe thief. He basically went around, killed freshies and took their shoes. He was a shoe collector, and he was
Give me your shoes.
he was massive, massive on Facebook back in the early days. He really took off. Berenzino, I can't remember what he was, but he was definitely Berenzino something. And that's what he would do. He would show you videos of him killing people or tying them up, taking their shoes, and then at the end of the day, you just have a barrel full of shoes.
There's
What did
kind
he
of
do?
like
He killed them.
I-
Tormented them.
Did he collect the people as
No,
well?
he didn't collect the people. He just got, well, the people stayed there. This is shoes came with him.
I know I said I'd not bring up peaches, but there's a guy on one of my servers that if you gave him a can of peaches, he would hunt anyone down on the map.
So that's cool.
Freshly geared.
Oh.
Just give him a can of peaches
give him a
and he
can
was
of
like your own
peaches?
freaking bounty hitman.
Yeah, see, that's people gaining their own missions through tiny little, I guess, little ploys. You know, we do find that a lot of people that join this Dayz game go, "What do you do? Yeah, you survive. What do you do now?" And I think that's the ability to be able to expand off your own game,
Yeah.
put your own ploys into it, and run it through that way.
You're in the
Well, that's the
limited
beauty
to
about
your
DayZ,
own
is
imagination,
this-
you know. You can do whatever you
Yeah,
want.
there's no story. It's whatever we want it
You
to
make
be.
your own story. Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
that's where it always comes around to. It's actually the people that make the game. Let's be
Yeah.
honest, because it's and it is, and you need that variation. You do need the dickheads, you do need the the horrible
The
people,
wardens,
and you
yeah.
need the nice people, and you need like having all those dynamics is what makes the game interesting, because you're walking around, you just don't know what type of person you're going to bump into, and that itself becomes another part of the survival.
Yeah,
I
100%.
like what the Third Order do, like ad sale and stuff like that. They do their own like thing, content side, but then they still play the game as well, and they link it all in together. Like one of them's got a character called Ivan that he does like a daily series on. Like
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's good.
they set up staged like kidnapping Nicole or whatever, and like this is what they do, and the content that they can create just by in the game is amazing. Like you could make your own movie just by playing Dayz. I know a techie messaged me months ago, "Do you want to be involved in this? I'm going to make my own Dayz movie. I need help with this, and this." I'm like, dude, that would be cool, but I don't have the time.
Yep.
You can get a group of people together, create amazing content, but it also comes back to now you need a capture card to do it.
100%.
The game chat issue.
Yeah.
The game
I
has.
think that's
That's
ruined a
affected
lot of
things
interaction.
so much.
It has. It's killed a lot of interaction on officials, and
It
like,
has.
you'd run around talking to people on the coast back in the day. That's what I used to love doing. Now you can't talk to nobody because everybody's either in a party or it's fucked it.
Yeah, and I think that
Yeah,
party.
it did. It really did.
I think back in the old days when you could be in a party and still hear the game chat, the
Yeah.
indicator of
Yeah.
someone's having a chat. Oh, give me a sec, someone's talking to me, and you're straight out the party. Doesn't happen anymore. You don't see a freshie and go,
Yeah.
"Oh, I see a freshie, I'm just going to jump out."
Even if it's just like you could hear like muffled, like when you've got the bike helmet on and it's muffled. Even if you could hear that, if you're in a party, it would be 10,000 times better. It's like, oh shit, that person's talking to me. Let me switch.
Yeah, a verbal
But
cue.
they just yeah, have a disclaimer. When you first launch the game. I don't understand why they just don't do that. Because it's a whole Microsoft thing.
Microsoft.
They should So what they should do is they should say, okay, for each individual game, if you do want to allow this, then you have to put a disclaimer and have someone tick a box, before they jump into the game. Problem solved.
And end of the day though, it's a load of
Should
BS
well.
because COD you can chat between PC and PS4. Armor you can talk in game chat. There's other games out there you can talk in game chat. So what's the issue with Dayz to Microsoft? Got to be something
yeah.
that they're not telling everyone.
It's not. It's when you first
know what
buy
I
an
mean?
Xbox and you first join, you actually sign the agreement in there, in the privacy agreement, that all your information and the ability for you to decide what gets infiltrated into your, obviously through your headset and the ears, is up to you. And they put in that precision to go party chat, blanked out, or game chat. Broadcasting what somebody
What makes
says,
the
that's the broadcasting part of it. That's why you can't hear it on Twitch.
Yeah, but that's what I
What
understand
makes the
is then how come
difference
like
on
Warzone any
other
different?
games? Yeah, other games you can. So what?
It's I think it's under a different
They just haven't
license.
found it out yet.
No, I think it's a different license because we were never supposed to be able to do that. Microsoft sort of just walked in the door and
Yeah.
went, "Do you know breaking our rules, and Dayz were like, right, we've got to change it straight up because we get sued. So
Yeah, they should have negotiated
Yeah,
it
but
a
what?
bit better.
But what about the people like
Yeah.
me and you that use the capture card so greedy? Aren't we technically breaking the user agreement from
a
for using capture cards?
100%.
Quiet!
100%.
No, 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 no.
What are you doing?
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Yeah, but the fact that I get they're trying to police it with, you know, stopping the interactions, stopping the voices going through on the direct Twitch app on the Xbox, but most of the people that
Stream it or
most of the people that are streaming have capture cards.
so the
You know,
liability
that might be seen.
the liability falls on you. So if something was said
Yeah.
and it was discriminative
Yeah.
about something, and someone wanted to push it, and wanted to push it far enough, people with capture cards, people who are broadcasting it, are the ones who are liable. So that's the risk we take. As much as it's like the norm to go, yeah, grab a capture card, you know, you'll be able to do it. If something out of this setting here where I've got 6 people in front of me is said and it wrecks something of yours, I am the one liable. So that's the thing that I think streamers don't realise when they're rolling the capture card. You are taking all the liability yourself.
100%. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's been
Yeah, it's a good
times where
topic.
people have said the most awful, like, and I'm not just talking about like, you know, racism or, you know, derogatory terms or anything like that. I'm talking about really horrible shit some people have said, and luckily, you know, they're gone now. Those VODs are gone. That stream's gone. But like, if that happened now with the audience that I've got, you know, as small as it may be, it takes one person out of that audience. Even if you've got 5 people watching you or whatever the case is, it takes for one person to go, oh, that's just been said in this stream, and then someone from Twitch looks at it and goes, okay, your livelihood, whatever, if you're earning from Twitch, if it's a job for you, that's gone.
Yep.
You know,
We had this.
but sometimes you can be lucky.
There's quite a couple of times where we've had randoms join the servers in the last few days because Trip doesn't run a capture card, so we've all been in a party, and we've been like, "Oh, shall we invite?" And then I'm thinking like, if they walk in and they say the wrong thing instantly, like
Yeah.
They do give you some warnings, though, don't they? Don't you get
You know
3
what I mean.
strikes and you're out?
Yeah, you do get 3 strikes.
And I-
yeah,
and I-
but
Yeah, and I think it's up to the streamer as well. You know, I mean, you as a streamer, you're not just there playing a game. You're the cameraman, you're the director. You know, so you have to manage that yourself. You know what I mean? Like if someone starts saying something you don't like, you know, you gotta walk away, or mute it or whatever. But so you know, you do have to manage all aspects of it yourself. And
Well-
take on
Yeah,
responsibility, and
if
plus
I-
add a 18
see-
plus as well.
yeah, if I'm in a party, the first thing if someone new joins, the first thing it says, "I'm streaming. What should we say?" First thing out my mouth. As soon as
Yep.
someone joins, just they can't then complain if they get kicked. If you were warned from minute 1, you were not warned.
Yeah,
I'm
or
streaming.
from
it's
that
terms of
line.
service, don't ruin it.
From that line where you're in a party or in game, you definitely have to run those warnings. But Twitch has actually got a guest VIP section now where you can invite someone directly to the stream. They can use their phone to interact with the stream and basically bring up their voice, and whatever they say or do on that particular thing doesn't actually affect your Twitch. They will get banned, they will cop the thing for it rather than you. Yeah, you're right, Trip. We'll continue on. Mr. Water, what's the best and hardest lesson that you've learned in the game?
Trust no one.
Trust no one. I know you live by
When
that.
when I first started playing Dayz, like I had a group of friends that I played other games with. Like I'd known these people a couple of years, and I'm playing with them, and they stabbed me in the back quicker than anything because they saw how quickly I picked up the game. I had my own base built, the amount of loot that I had because I was putting time into the game, into learning it. They raided me when I was in bed one night. Logged on. Oh, it was this guy's guy. I'm like, I know for well it's you guys. So from then, it's been instilled into me like you can't just anyone, even your own friends, are gonna stab you in the back in this game because you've got something that they're gonna want. You're at a skill level, like you could be at a skill level that they can never get to, and there's jealousy there. So that any chance they'll get, they'll shoot you in the back.
Yeah, I
on
had
your
that.
fucking
I was
resume.
actually shot the back last night by one of my friends. I hear what you're saying.
It comes to the thing of I play by rule one. You guys know full well at any chance I could turn and kill on you, but I also know how to read the room. You know what I
You gotta
mean?
read the
Like
room.
get the vibe.
Yeah.
Like if the vibe is, alright, we've got this mission, like we've got a goal of it, then I'm not gonna be like, right, kill everyone. There's times when Smiley's been streaming and I've popped in a chat, oh, you want to spice things up, and I'll come hunting, and she's like, yeah, sound. She's got 10-man crew with her 9% of the time. You know what I mean? It's like, if I pick one off, there's another 9 that's coming at me. And it just spices things up, but then in the next stream, I could be running with them, and it's a fine line of, I know for well they've all got eyes on me over the shoulder. I do it with Undead. Undead's like the fucking Wish version of me. He tries it, but he always turns violent. I can run with people and be chill.
Yeah, he's got the same ego too, actually, doesn't he? So he's on par there.
They're very well matched. Very well
Like some
matched.
Texan. Very well. Very
So yeah,
well.
definitely.
But
Rule number one: don't
it's
trust
the fine
anybody.
line of, yeah, don't trust anyone. But there's also in the back of the
There's
head
other
that
things
there
as well.
might be a little bit of trust, but don't give them too much rope to hang themselves with. Sort of thing.
Ooh, very
That
nice.
aspect of it.
Alrighty, well, conversation's definitely flowing hard. Welcome everybody to the podcast. We're going to now step outside and watch our guests try and compete for our little challenge. If you guys want to go get yourselves a hatchet, some planks, grenade launcher, and explosives, we're going to go have some fun. We'd like to run a little halftime show. Definitely got the fat conversation flowing. So as you can see down here, we've got some posts set up. These guys will have to build a fence up to full panel using the planks and then destroy it with their M79 grenade launcher. The winner is the one who runs through their gates first. We'll just let them get set up. So you'll have planks in these ones here.
Oh, shit.
Yep, you'll have hammers
Who's going to win,
and
Smiley?
nails. See, what do you reckon,
Well,
crew?
actually,
While these get set up.
you know, I actually think that I'm gonna back Trip. I know, my first inkling was Nate,
Pressure's on there.
but Trip is an old school. Like that's what he does. He likes to build. Likes to, he's where Nate's more of a pew sort of dude. I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, you got money on
I'm
Trip.
gonna
What about you,
back-
Q?
What about you, Q?
I'm back in the booty, man.
You're back in the boonie, man.
You gonna back the
Always
booty,
back
man?
the booty, man.
I'm gonna back
I
the.
know it's gonna be tight.
I'm
It
gonna
will be tight.
I'm gonna back the unknown. I'm gonna go Kain. I'm gonna back Kain.
Oh.
We'll see. I think the unknown will come through. So
Don't be saying
So,
it.
I got my
I gotta
faith
do
in
my
you.
magic trick
Pressure.
because I need to make some space in my inventory here. You want to see me pull a rabbit out of my hat, or you want to see me pull a hair out of my ass?
All right. Oh. Rocky and Bullwinkle. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Who do you think's going to win this one? Is it going to be FlameGuard? Is it going to be Dmtripamine? Is it going to be Warden, or is it going to be Kain vorhees? Welcome everybody to the podcast. Hope you're having an absolutely wicked day. We're going to do a little question session at the end. As you can see, the conversation is flowing heavily. So we'd love to get you involved. That's it. Put your nominations down. Get it out there. So Trip, Kain, FlameGuard,
Oh my god.
or Warden.
Well, it was all Smiley's doing that I lost my favorite gimp back in the lands of Rust. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, I had this lovely little base. We were all playing together, and I had this little gimp trapped, and she's like so inclusive. and
Oh,
just
there's a
wants
lot of
everyone
love
to come
between the
along
red
and have some
boonie.
fun, and
Little
then
love
she
for
jumped into our
Flame.
Chat. She's like, yeah, this is the
But
server.
a lot of love for the
Come and
Trip. Everyone
play
loving
with us."
DMT.
And these
Everyone loving
little
DMT.
fucking sluts come around, and they fucking
But every
troll
week,
us
guys, we
all
do
day. All day
jump
they
on the
trolled us.
TPP The
And
Peasant
they were just
Podcast.
like, "Oh, we're just
Get
trying to
our
be
guests
friendly," and they
together.
kept griefing
If
us.
you've got some questions, we're going to roll some questions right at the end of the stream. So if you want to ask,
He's gone. I never saw him
if you want to ask some stuff, let us know. Smiley's got a gun,
The
and
sad story.
ADKcue are my
Sorry.
co-hosts.
Here, there, Trev. That'll be alright.
This week we implemented a couple of co-hosts just to help with the
I
show,
actually have a question
help with
for Flame
flowing.
too, actually. Can I ask Flame a question?
Been absolutely wicked.
Flame, what was it like
Yeah,
being
what's up?
Trip Skimp on Rust?
When are we starting?
He was anonymous. He was
Hey,
anonymous. You
hey,
don't
hey,
expose
Booty
it.
Man,
Don't expose
Booty
it.
Man, let him get ready. Calm down.
Alright,
That's
so
it.
what
Smiley's not
sounds
competing.
To build a wall
Yep. So
and then break it through it.
that's it. Hey, Booty Man, get your timbers off and get your nails off. They're gonna be in your
You
inventory.
just said get ready.
Yeah, I said get it in your inventory. Get it out. Pick
I
your
feel
pla-
like we should all be naked because I don't have enough inventory slots.
If you don't,
No, that's
oh,
on you. That's on you.
you don't have it. You don't have inventory. If you don't have enough inventory slots because of your outfits, maybe we should put the nails and planks in here. I just think it might be a bit
Wait,
too
how many
easy.
beers has he got in his pocket?
That's
Where
it.
is his
400
beer?
beers.
He's got a case of
Mate, I had
beer.
to drop him.
Alright. Well, all right. Well, I'll let you do it. You can put your nails down and your planks. Ready, set, go, and then I want you to go up near the trucks. That'll be the start line. So you'll need a full box of nails, which is 100 nails. You don't use just a 70, you won't have enough, and you'll need 20 planks.
It's 30, it's 38, it's 38
Yeah.
per wall.
Jesus, how long have you
38.
been doing building for, Greedy?
What's 38 in total to a whole wall?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was always more than that.
No.
No, it's 2 walls.
God,
You
I'm-
can't get
I'm
a
gonna-
full box
I'm gonna
out
have
of.
to take you on a building.
Fuck,
trip.
I haven't built for fucking 2 years.
No. At we did have that little base with with the gang on official.
Yep.
4500. That was an awesome time.
Yeah, I didn't
Don't
build
like
any
to
of
talk
it.
about what happened.
Didn't build any of
That's
it.
why I don't build anymore.
That's it.
Heartbroken.
All right, so you got to come back up the trucks, boys. Starting lines up the trucks. So you got to build and complete the wall. Then you can use either C4 or you can use M79 grenade launchers. Be warned, there may be a little splashback. So you may get killed if you're too close.
We may need to move Q.
Is everybody ready?
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Everybody- Yeah,
Just-
good.
Oh, wait,
Can I shoot
they're
my
not
wall
even
from
close
this
to that part
side?
yet.
Because if I build
Yeah.
it from that side, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, you could. I would be grabbing it from here and shooting it from here. I wouldn't be getting very close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have the
That's
pissing
what I mean.
competition
We'll have to be
after.
behind
Whoa.
it.
Trip, get in line.
All right.
Now,
Ju-
don't forget to win. You have to run through.
You
this
got to run
before
through
game.
it. That's it. My 2 co-hosts will be the judges. They'll decide if there's any unfair play.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen, are you ready? Start your engines.
Yep. Alright.
Not literally. Drive a truck.
All right. Ready? Set. Go.
We need the
Work on
elevator
up.
music cue.
Oh,
Ooh, they're popping up pretty
that's
quick.
it.
And go.
It's all going to be down to mechanics, how quick we are to the buns. Oh, got 2 bottom ones done on this side. Whoa. Everyone's done bottoms.
Come on,
Now-
booty man.
That's
Jesus.
it. Now need the tops done. If you're slow, you're going to get hit by grenade launchers, so I'd hurry up. Oh, tops are up.
I changed mine. I'm going for Flame. Go Flame.
Oh, there they are. They're up, up,
Go Flame.
up, up. Oh, one down. Competition's out. He'll respawn. He'll be back. He'll be respawned. I wouldn't worry about your gear. I wouldn't worry about your gear. Oh, C4 going off there. Oh, Warden. And he runs it through. Oh, there's the winner there, ladies and gentlemen. Just dumped a whole heap of fucking explosives and boom, took it all out one go. Trip had a bit of a rock with his body. Guys, you can finish him off. Take him out if you like.
That's funny.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Warden.
Man.
What was the tactic there, Warden? Where is he? We need a little interview at the end here.
Just
Here he is. What was it? What was the tactic?
dump a load of grenades. Just dump a load of grenades and have a claymore ready to go.
Just dump, and boom. Trip, let's interview Trip. Trip, what happened there? We got a little caught up in the action.
Mate, I was thinking the same as Warden. I had a claymore on me. I'm like, fuck. Like, I could hear everyone building around me. I'm like, I'm the last one to get it up.
Last one to get it up.
As soon as I
Did
ran
you
out.
bet?
Last one to get it up.
You,
As long as you say it's next week, Trip.
That's it. Halfway through the round,
Week, man.
Oh shit.
Kain and
there is a
and
reason.
Flame had the lead halfway through the round and building. Flame, you went from the underdog to the co-host back, and you like nothing else. What happened at the end there?
Yeah. I went with the C4 route instead of the grenade launcher. and
Yep.
It didn't go well.
Not enough puff.
Yeah.
And what about
you guys know
what about
how
you,
to
Kain? You went for
cancel
the
animation.
yeah. So what about you, Kain? Did
Oh,
you
I was gonna go for C4.
Yep.
I was gonna go for the C4, well, the Claymore, but I didn't have enough inventory space,
Yep.
so I had no choice.
I think you went alright. You
Go
took
for
out
the,
Trip on the
grenade
first
launcher.
hit. Took out the competition.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Got me down to under half too.
See, did you guys do the animation cancel to build quicker? Because I was slow off the get-go, and then I was the first to finish building.
No.
You guys know how?
No, you weren't
cancel
first to
these
finish.
things?
You were third. Right at the
Yeah.
end. Flame got it. Then Kain. Then you. And then Trip. Trip was in the lead to start off with. Had a little fumble on his first from Pole's defense.
Did you
I-
see?
I
I
just
went
so
too
you guys
quick and I
know.
started to fucking dismantle.
Just so you guys know, I had to go in my inventory and pull the nails out. I forgot to put the nails on, and that's why. I was so
That's what he had his start.
But if you're doing the building animation and it finishes, if you ADS like that, and then you can literally carry straight on, like ADS and then press the button again, and it starts building the next thing straight away. You don't have to finish the animation.
Oh, a little building tip there for next time.
It's
So-
same with like putting the fence posts in, anything to do with building,
see,
like
Smiley,
digging up
I told you.
garden
always
plots.
bet the booty.
If you as you finish it, and you
You're
just
right,
ADS, it cancels the animation, and you can carry on doing what you're doing.
Yeah, very nice. All right, let's head back in. People need to grab a drink or grab some food. Grab some food.
Respect the boonie, bitch.
Youngie, welcome, welcome. Carl Effect,
yeah,
welcome,
disrespect the
welcome.
boonie.
Space Dog, welcome, welcome.
Is
Appreciate
there,
it.
food in
Subscribe.
here
Goblin,
in the
thank you for the
truck or cars?
subscribe. 25 months. My longest man is a legend. Dimensional Trapple.
How's you with
I
the
always
Epic
shot
Fail
him,
Winner,
I always
thank you
shot
for
him
the
because he had
community
nothing on
sub.
his head.
Welcome everybody to TPP, the Peasant
Um,
Podcast. We just went through the
Yeah,
halftime show.
if you need sodas.
We'll just get back into the rest of the program. And of course,
Oh, for fuck's
and everything
sake.
will turn to shit once we get our little outro.
Oh, yeah, that's another
Yeah.
question I'd like to ask everyone, actually. So, what do you think of the new fingering animation? And if
The new what
and
animation?
Do you prefer to be the fingering animation?
Oh, yep.
And do you prefer to be the giver or the receiver?
That's it. The pulse check.
I'd prefer if you were stood this close to someone next to Greedy, that I could actually press X and drop shit, not have to check his fucking pulse.
Yeah, I'm a bit over that.
I to drop shit.
Yeah, I'm a bit over that.
Yeah, that's annoying. Especially if someo's crouching, you poke them in the bum every time. We're like, oh, sorry, we just met on the coast, and
That's it. We're getting a little personal. We're getting a little personal.
What did we learn, Trip?
have a crouch. Q.
Hey,
Crouch.
Did we learn?
I heard them talking about always back to Booney, so I just wanted
Eh?
to throw the Booney at Smiley.
That's it.
No disrespect. And,
No
no
disrespect.
disrespect in the Booney.
It's
I
only
mean,
two
you threw.
fingers.
I mean,
It's only-
you
wait,
threw
it's only-
you threw
it's
away
only two
wedding
fingers.
gift, Trip. So
Wedding
Oh
gift.
shit! I didn't
Wedding
realize.
gift.
I didn't
I
know.
like
I didn't,
three.
I didn't realize it was a wedding gift.
You like three? Yeah, three's a nice.
All right.
Out for fingering.
So, to continue on, and of course a bit more now into the coding and the server itself. What options or mods would you like to see incorporated into the main game that would benefit the original game mechanics? We'll start off with FlameGuard.
Recipes.
Oh no, go Trip. You gonna lead off with that. Recipes? You think they need programmable or
sorry,
buildable
yeah,
recipes?
Just recipes.
Are we talking combination wise?
I would love it if. I'm not a modder or coder or anything by any means, and I have no idea about that.
No, but that's
What
why
I would
we
like to see
love your opinion.
implemented would be just how cool would it be to, like, you got a capsicum, you got a steak, you got some potatoes and some tomatoes and stuff, and you put it all into a cooking pot and make a stew. Would give you some kind of extra like benefits. Maybe it gives you a heat buff as well. Maybe it keeps your calories up for a little bit extra. Just that extra versatility in crafting. I'd like to see something like that. It would really add to the whole role-playing survival element, I think, for those of us who just like to chill sometimes and have a little farm, go hunting, not really worry about the PvP or the looting or whatever. You could just hang out.
You want some mushroom
But
stew?
you should also be the to warm up like the cans of spaghetti. Like you can put the spaghetti in a cooking pot, and you can actually heat it up, and then it'll help keep your internal temperature up.
Yeah,
Stuff
or,
like
or
that.
powdered
Yeah.
milk, make it up into a bottle.
Powdered milk. I was just
Yeah.
about to say
Yeah.
exactly the
Yeah,
same.
for
I
sure,
actually drink
definitely.
fucking powdered milk.
Yep, definitely. What about you, FlameGuard? Is there anything that you'd like to see added into the original game to benefit it?
I think it'd just be nice to, I don't know, get access to everything PC has.
As in the mods wise,
Otherwise, I'm not
or as in the things that they have on PC,
Yeah,
like the barricading
Modding
mods?
capabilities.
Yeah, well, it'd be definitely a game changer if you could definitely do that. They are adding certain components to it. I mean, when it comes to it, the mods are just a little bit of added in, but it's down to the basic game mechanics is where the majority comes from. So I think a lot of it could be added, especially like barricades and a lot more better defense, maybe a better run through of building. But I also think building has to be primitive, for the fact is we're in an apocalypse. We don't have heavy machinery, or we don't have production wise on how to make planks or hinges or nails or anything like that. So I do think that base mechanic needs to stay very primitive. But definitely a good point. There is a lot on PC that needs to be incorporated over. What about you, Kain?
Say more admin tools to sort of help with cheaters. I think this is something that I've spoken to you about before. But just the ability to, I know you've got like, I think it's with Dayz++, it'll show you if someone's swimming underneath the map or something like that, but maybe more accessibility to, I don't know, if someone might have one of those, could be using one of those strike packs or Cronus Zens or whatever they're called sort of thing, maybe, you know, be able to see their stats, like what their headshot ratio is and, you know, things like that.
A bit more reporting on the player
wise.
to help identify people that are breaking the rules.
Yeah, just a bit more information here and there, you know, just sort of, admin god mode is like one of the things that someone just put in the chat.
But
That's it.
yeah,
That's it,
just
Youngie.
back on
Yeah,
on
go.
that though,
It's
you
a
wouldn't be
tough
able
one.
to see, you wouldn't be able to go off people's stats because I've played with people that 100% do like legit players don't cheat or anything like that.
Oh no, but I
And
mean
their
like for
aim's
instance, if someone's
phenomenal.
got like a 100% headshot rating or like
Yeah, but
stupidly
That's it.
high.
even people using strike packs don't have 100% headshot
Yeah,
ratio.
all the
It's-
strike
it's-
back and the
percentage
Cronus
is gonna be
does is
higher.
stop recoil.
It just stops recoil. It's not aimbot where
Yeah,
headshot every time.
There is something, I don't know what it's called, but there is something else that can give you that ability, but not focusing on like the Cronus and the strike packs or whatever, but just more player information for admins to sort of help
The
them.
ability to move around, like for owners and admins to be able to move around the map to check up on, right? Is this
Yeah, it's
person
like
sticking to
the
those
teleport
rules?
would definitely be a big thing, you know. But
Oh,
that's
this
something that
guy,
admins could abuse as well.
yeah.
Is there
That's the
anything
same on
with
anything.
something like that?
That's the same on PC. You run that risk.
Oh yeah, 100%. The amount of
Like,
the abilities
I've had-
that PC has is far superior than what we've got. But I think
Like the amount
know-
of like even now with what we've got, the amount of times like my base at Copa was fucking huge. Greedy would back me on this. It was fucking huge. I built it myself. I built it legit. The amount of people that walked up, oh, that's a duper base. They've cheated it. Oh, it's a
Yeah,
server.
man.
Oh, he's coded the stuff in himself. Like clearly, no, I was out every day filling trucks up, driving around the map, around
Exactly,
getting shot
man,
at,
yeah.
getting back building, and like other server owners, yeah, they probably do code stuff in for themselves. Like, why would you not? You know what I mean? It's that temptation, but it's a way of server owners can check to see, oh, is this person got this stuff legit? Is this person sticking to the 3-gate rule, 4-gate rule, 5-gate rule? Because at the minute, server owners, all they can do is run up to the outside and ask the player, oh, can I see inside your base, stuff like that.
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Oh,
I mean, especially with
you've got
things like
vehicle
that.
limits.
So with
Sorry,
things
go
like that, you know, if for instance, like with the 3-gate rule that you've just said, as a server admin, you should be allowed to go wherever you want, especially when it comes to checking if someone might be cheating or they're doing something they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing for that is if someone is, you know, if someone's not on and you can't access their base, you've got to wait till they're on, and you know, especially if, for instance, one of the people that I play with quite a lot is GTS Queen, and because she's Australian and I'm in the UK, there's massive time gap, especially if, you know, we're working and things like that. So sometimes having that ability to like walk up or teleport or whatever the case is to view something like that, I think what Warden just said is definitely a big thing, just to be able to teleport. I think would be good.
I've had
But-
it where previously I've had dupers on my server, and it's the only reason we've caught them out is by people reporting through ticket. This person's logging in and out. Like, this is back when he was logging in and out. You could dupe like freaking 3-4 sea chests in like 5 minutes.
Yep.
And the only way we
Yeah.
caught them is they were logging in and out, and I had to get one of the other admins to run to that location, wait on the server. I think he was waiting like an hour and a half, 2 hours, for them to log back in a sea chest, kill them, and see what was on their body. And literally, he killed them. They logged in on another account that was around the corner. It was the exact same gear. and that's literally the only way back then that you could get to catch people like that on community.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
or
needs to be a better
outrageous
method
amounts of items that couldn't be produced. Like someone with a LAR and they got
If you-
15 LAR mags.
Yeah,
Yeah,
If
maybe
you
have like
can-
an item limit.
you can literally. So no. Never mind, it's gone.
Go well. Do you want to add anything into
Yeah,
that
no.
with
I want to see more primitive, like
yeah,
more
with
craftable,
the
primitive.
what would you like to see in the
like,
game that
Give
benefits?
me a bow and arrow. Give me
Throwing
a spear
knives.
that you can spearly throw the throwing knives. How funny would it be to run around with throwing like, even if it's just making them out of bone throwing knives, and you're throwing them at geared guys and they're getting cuts and they're like, where the fuck am I getting cut from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The content on that alone.
You have to
The
stop.
skyrocket.
You actually have to stop and pull it out, you know.
Yeah.
And then bandy. That would be
Like the
amazing.
ability to like catch bigger game, you know, like bear traps or like the bear traps. If you could actually use them on animals properly, like you find a trail or like where the deers go, you can set it up and you go off, kind of like the snares. You go off, you come back. Oh, I've got a deer stuck in a bear trap. Free food. Something to be a lot of servers, especially the survival servers, the hardcore servers like GTS Queens, yours greedy. Ammo's at a premium, but if I could make an arrow out of a short stick and a bow, I can get a pig a little bit, you know, that's adding to my survival experience.
Yeah,
rather than
whether you
Well,
invest
I
your
think
time
it's
creating
also-
bow and arrows or you try and find a gun.
Yeah,
And you're
and
not
it just
loud,
opens
you're
up
not
whole
shooting.
new, like Goblin mentioned. I was talking to Goblin on one of his streams. He mentioned a slingshot.
Yep.
You fire small rocks at animals and knock them out, and then you have
Oh,
to.
that'd
you
be
know,
cool.
Like, you have to.
Like
Yeah.
a players
The-
out with a slingshot
for
would be
the-
funny.
For a game that's based on survival, there is not a great amount of survival craftables.
Yeah, improvised
It's
stuff.
all based
Yeah,
around
it's like if you've got a
guns.
tin of food, and you're starving, one of the things you could do is smash it against a rock or something to try and open it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably will
Yeah.
get less food out of it, but that's something that if you are starving and you're gonna die, you'd smash it against a rock. You just would.
I'm sure we've all been there where we've found a can of fucking food and like, oh shit, I've nothing to open it, run around and die.
Exactly,
because I've
bro,
got
yeah.
Nothing to open it.
Yep.
You'd use your teeth
Yeah, instead
eventually,
of-
wouldn't you?
Yeah. And instead of like, you know, with these updates, you know, we've got a new gun, we've got a new weapon. You know, that's what they should be
Don't
adding
need
in.
anymore.
Well,
Yeah,
I believe that's
we don't
what they're
need-
focusing on this year, is the more survival side of the aspect of it, rather than bringing in more guns and stuff like that.
But also,
Which is-
I also said to be able to build bigger storage. Why can I not build something the same size of a sea chest? Why am I only able to build small crates? Why can I not
Yeah, why
build
can't we upgrade the
similar?
crate, you know?
Yeah,
I-
similar to.
Yeah.
I think it also comes down to
Hotkeys.
the player is supposed to be a basic person, not like if I handed you some sticks and some rope, could you build me a camp tripod that could support a pot full of water?
Hell yeah.
You could, but I think
Given enough time.
yeah,
Average
exactly
person,
right.
Yeah.
But I do think there has to be an element of you are a dumb human who doesn't know how to survive, as well as
Well, it's the,
I am a
Yeah, you're
survivalist.
straight out 2023, you know, focused on your phones. That's what it is, mate.
but
Yeah.
you've also got to look at it. You've also got to look at it as though
The whole
I'm playing the game.
population's fucked then.
Like
Exactly,
We all
yeah,
started-
5-minute crafts.
we all started off not knowing anything about the game, how to survive, how to do this, how to make this item, that item. Through time you progress, so I think there should be that ability to. Now we're 5 years into the game. The player base has progressed, everyone's skill levels progressed. Now's the time to add that extra element of survival's got better. Now you can craft these extra stuff and
Well, in
progress
saying
further.
that, we still have the bar
Yeah,
and,
the
and
soft
adventure
skill.
menu with the sewing needle.
Yeah, the soft
and
skill.
that,
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah.
uses it because it doesn't really make
That's
a
what
difference.
I was
And by
No,
going
the
to
time
touch on.
It
you
doesn't work.
upgrade it, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't survive long
Yeah,
enough.
if they
And then
invested
your
a lot of
server
time on that,
resets, and then it just goes back to base.
Like,
It's,
I'd
Yeah.
love
Oh,
to be
does
able
it?
to,
Didn't know that.
especially with base building. Like on PC, it's like similar to the bench that you're all stood at the side of. You can store planks on it, you can store nails in it, you can store logs on it, rather than having to keep it all in a truck. Oh shit, my truck got stolen.
yeah, it's all
Your
done.
stuff's there. You physically built that. Like anyone could build something like that. Even a novice could build. All right, I'm gonna pile all these logs here and build something around that, or build a box at the side of it to put stuff in, and then you've got the logs piled at the side of it. Like, there's room for that in the game, I think. And as I said, with the way everyone's skills have progressed, they added the airs and traps and stuff a couple updates ago. There is progression to be able to add bigger stuff, subtract bigger stuff, to make bigger storage, rather than relying on the tents all the time. Like, how many times have you run into Tent City and there's just like 50 tents in a base? Yeah. Whereas you can make a more discreet base by being able to build the bigger storage. You can store it all in a house off the beaten path, and no one goes, rather than having to surround this massive large tent with walls. Oh, there's a base there, I'm gonna go blow it up. It adds to the kind of the Walking Dead aspect of survival of the fittest. You've got something I want, I'm gonna come take it, sort of shit.
Yeah, 100%. I also
I
think
wouldn't
that.
mind seeing even just stuff on. Oh, sorry, greedy guy.
No, go.
Oh, just in terms of what Warden was saying about opening up different kind of things and the player base getting more knowledgeable about how to survive and how to craft. I think maybe not on official or purely vanilla servers, but I did see this server Gecko Fish was running, where it was like an RPG style. The longer you survived, you'd get a survivability. It was like an RPG. It was a Dayz RPG kind of style, and the longer you
Yeah,
survive,
the
you get.
traits.
Yeah, you would have seen it, Q. Yeah. And so
Yeah.
you've got like your medical stats, you've got your survivability, you've got your athleticism, you've got your like a whole bunch of different stats and a crafting stat. So if they could incorporate that, obviously not for official. I don't know how that would even run on console, but if it was a potential mod that we could have to be able to do that on certain community servers, I think that would be really cool. And
I think
That'd
it'd
be
have to
very
be
cool.
on DayZ too, though. I think it'd have to be a full overhaul.
Well, not really.
Yeah.
the more that
You could.
learn, the longer you
So,
survive. it
incorporating
opens up
all that and about.
more recipes to craft.
Yeah, but incorporating all that and incorporating a few things that have been said within the show, if you had like the soft skills where the more you do it, it rises up. So the more you crafted, you got, you started off, you could make the small crate. And the more you crafted, then turn into a bigger crate. You had the ability to unlock that. And then the more you got, you
Yeah.
could actually deck out into a room of storage. And it could work in medical. So, you start off with, rags taking ages to wrap, but because you've, healed 10 players, you now wrap rags like you wrap bandages. You could do it with crafting.
Yeah,
And it'll also
that's
give you
similar to
the...
what Trip was saying.
Yeah, but it also gives that value to the player, because once you die, you wipe it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
it does. It gives you that value of life.
Correct, and how valuable...
that's-
am I going to
that's
rush
what it
3
is with
guys?
these
No,
soft
because
skills,
I'm the medic.
Yeah, and you can cater your playstyle to your own skills.
Yep.
Just those little things. It might not have to be a fucking game changer. Just those little things. Like the soft skills to me have always been a little love-hate relationship. Like when I build big bases, I'm like, I get my thing maxed. And that what does that give me? That gives me less wear on my tools,
Yep.
and maybe you can harvest extra resources from trees and planks and stuff like that. But it's not really
You
a
could-
game-changing thing.
Well,
I don't
early days it
understand
used to
why.
be. Early
It's
days...
one or the other.
Yeah, early
If I'm
days you
building
used
a
to
base
get multiple
and I'm
logs.
fixing my clothes, I'm learning 2 skills at once. Why does it have to be one or the other? I think they should be independent.
Yep.
even though it's not
Yeah.
a big part of the
Plus,
game,
y-
and we've basically just kind of relegated that to the fucking abyss because it doesn't really affect
you could
Doesn't
cross
really
it
do
over
anything.
as
overall
well
game.
with
Mm.
cross it over as well with like the gunplay aspect of if you're PvPing or sniping a lot more, there could be skill bar progression for that to build up, and you can hold your breath up a bit longer. Your aim's a little bit steadier.
It's not as much
They've
sway.
That would
changed the
come
aim
into the
now.
athleticism
There's a
skill,
lot
you know?
more. There's a lot more sway and stuff in that. Yeah, but shooting's not all about
yeah.
athleticism. It's about technique and repetitive practice over and over. I didn't get good at sniping overnight. It took fucking months to get good at sniping. Where at the minute, a complete novice could pick up the game and they have the same chance of
Yeah,
sniping.
headshot you
someone
at 200
in a different
meters.
Game, whereas if you've got that skill bar ability for like to progress, like all right, my aim's a bit steadier. It gives me a slight edge in this situation, but the other person still might have similar stats and have the same thing. It just adds another element to player's skill and player's time in the game.
Yeah, 100%.
People that have like that's one thing I love about Dayz. Anyone can kill anyone. It doesn't matter how long you've played the fucking game.
Oh, baby goats.
Someone on day one could kill me, could kill Greedy, kill Trip. I'm gonna use Brumsy as an example. Brumsy's #1 player on Jubers in the world. He has been for like 2 years now. I've killed him, he's killed me. It's GG's after it all. That's the aspect of the game. Anyone can kill anyone.
Yeah, 100%.
The only thing that gets thrown out of proportion is like I can give GG's to anyone. Brumsy can give GG. Everyone here can give. I've killed you. GG's at the end of it. We give shit to each other. Me and Spider
Yeah.
give each other shit all the time. At the end of it, it's GG's. We make
It
content
feels-
out of it. We make clips
Makes
out
me
of
feel
it.
really
with
nice
notes.
inside.
That's one thing. But someone on day one could literally come in and still own us for an hour because we have no gear. They've got a gun. Yeah. It's the progress. You need something. I think that even if a freshie comes into the game, they haven't quite got the stability to aim a gun. Like they still
Yeah, so
aim it, but
You want
not
the
as
player to be
stable as
rewarded
if
for their progression.
Well,
Yeah.
that comes back to what Greedy was saying before about how like you're supposed to be a dumb human. In Australia we don't have access to guns or anything like that. I wouldn't even know how to fucking shoot a gun. So and that if you're bringing that aspect in, makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Smiley sitting in a doomsday bunker
All
trying
I'm
to
gonna
load a
say-
mag. Like, what the fuck do I do?
I have
They're
16
fucking closing
strapped
in.
to my back.
Where's the Y button? Where's
I've
the
got all
Y
gear, I
button?
just can't fucking- oh, the safety's on. The fucking
I
safety's
showed you
on.
my
Where's the
bunker
switch?
once.
That's it. Now,
Secret.
now you know where your gimp's gone. In her
we're
bunker.
all full. If they bring
She stole my
if they
game.
bring vectors
Yeah.
into Daisy, I'm never playing it again against Smiley if they bring vectors in. I'm just saying.
But you are definitely correct. Back in the early days of Dayz, the soft skill actually worked. Well, it sort of worked. You would cut down lumber, cut down trees, harvest, and eventually you would get more logs. So rather than 1 drop, 2 would drop, 3 would drop, 4 would drop once you got it up. Once you got the sewing aspect up, you could sew back to pristine. So that's what that actual skill is supposed to be doing. The problem is the broken part of it is when you go and harvest logs, it then adds to adding more logs. As soon as you build, it adds to the pristine side of the clothing. So instantaneously, you've just chopped down 300 trees, come back, built 1 wall, come back, your skill's gone. So they after that, they wiped it out because it didn't make sense, and they never really brought it back. So it would be definitely cool to see some form of skill tree where the player was rewarded for enhancing their particular part of the game that they like, and therefore receiving the benefits for it. Like they have with the harvesting an animals. Maybe because you've harvested 20 animals, you now get 2 pelts out of the, what do you call it? You get 3 or 4 bits of meat. There's so much variety
The hunting
that
skill would be great as well.
yeah, there'd be so much variety that
Bring
a
back-
skill tree would incorporate.
Bring back leather crafting as well. Why the fuck can we only craft leather bags, but we can't do the clothing
Yeah.
anymore? Bring
I-
that back.
I
for
do
fuck's
believe
sake.
it's whatever happens with that belt and the glitching with the mechanics, where it looks like it's in your butt. I believe
Yeah,
that's got something to do with it. I mean,
I get that.
I've loaded it all in. I don't load the belts in because they're server glitches.
But as I
Yeah,
say,
fuck
they took that out. They took that out. What, 3 years ago, 4 years ago now? It was very early on. They took it out. Surely they can figure that out now.
Yeah, 100%.
Fix it.
All right, we'll open up the panel. As streamers, how do you find streaming on community versus official? Is there any difference between jumping on official or community?
I've never streamed official.
You've never streamed official?
You never streamed official.
No.
No.
Community,
I
not
don't think
bad.
I have either.
FlameGuard's never either.
Really?
It doesn't appeal to
fine.
me streaming on official. The official gameplay to me is just boring.
Yep.
I my content was mainly is progressed now more to like the survival side at the minute, because I can't find a PvP server that I actually want to fucking play regular,
Yep.
or a deathmatch. Like, a lot of my content was playing like my old server, super dope, awesome helis, stuff like that, where it was constant PvP, but there was faction side involved. At the minute, there isn't a server out there that sticks out to me of, right, I really want to play this server, I want to stream what's happening on this server. It's
You
a phenomenal site.
you hit Prison Riot a fair bit though, don't you? Is it that you?
Nope, I have
yeah.
played Prison Riot once.
Yeah,
and I cannot
it's
stand it.
the stream
No
ability.
offense to Goblin.
He's got a style. He does
It's
have a
not-
style when he's streaming his PvP.
The first time I played Prison Riot, it was before Goblin had made the changes and stuff to it, and I spent an hour. I did 25 kills of Christmas, and every server I went on, I had to get 25 kills. It took me 3 hours to get 25 kills on Prison Riot because I could not find a gun. And that's purely because
you
people
want the gear at your feet when you spawn in, sort of
Yeah,
thing.
he wants-
rather
No,
than-
What's
no,
called
not
grab
even-
and go.
No, not
Grab
even
and
the
go.
case of that. If I'm running into 3-4 buildings at a time, and especially on deathmatch servers, and I'm not finding anything to fight with, for me, I don't want to play that server.
Yeah, waste
If
of
it's a
time.
deathmatch server and the whole idea is to kill each other, you need to be able to run in, grab a gun, and get straight to killing. Even if it's just a shotgun or a gun that you have to chamber, at least you've got something to defend yourself. I spent about an hour of it just stood. I couldn't get off the spawn. I'd spawn in, die, spawn in, die. Like, and that
yeah,
is
I guess there's a
same
vibe.
on a
It-
few.
it's
It's
depends
the
on the
same
vibe.
on a few different servers. You
Mhm.
can spawn in, die, or you can go to some servers, spawn in, get geared more or less like I am now, but have an AR as well, and go on like 30-40 kill streaks. Like, I have record on a few servers of most kills in events, most kills in like a high streak on Teabag server, which is 49, and that's just purely from getting in, getting a little bit of gear, and just progress. It goes back to the progression. You progress up, you upgrade your gear as you go along, getting the kills in deathmatch servers. You're not gonna have. I don't want to spawn in here, running all the guns and all the plate carriers on the wall, grab it and go. It's
Oh, I do like those
Oh, there's a
shops though that
backpack.
Teabag puts in.
Oh,
You
yeah.
must admit, those fucking shops are are fucking awesome.
Massive
I
selection.
always look for the shop in here.
So,
Oh.
I suppose
the
DM
teddy bears in
Tryptamine,
the shops are the best.
Mr. DM Tryptamine, you streamed flat out official and then moved across to community. You're probably the most expert. I'm not sure on Kain's. I know Kain, you stream a lot of community, but Trip, you went from pure official to now pure community. You probably give us the best insight on what the difference is.
Well, I think what changed In terms of streamability and content that my community enjoyed watching, I think a lot of that died with the whole game chat thing because I'm not using the capture card, and that was the best times that I've had, and the best response I got from my community was, you know, let's just go meet a bunch of randoms and see what happens. And you make friends, you make enemies. You never know, you're gonna get tied up. You might tie someone up. Like, it was just all up in the air. You never know what you're gonna get on official. It's all random, and I loved it. I purely official, because this was back when they weren't spoon feeding you all of the, you like playing ED. You fucking ruined me for every official server there, Greedy. I love that hardcore. I love it so much, and I jump on official every now and then just to have a little run and meet some randoms if I'm off stream, just to get back to that thing. But in terms of what the audience would like to see, from my point of view, is they really enjoyed watching me meet randoms, forge friendships, go on a crazy run with a random, get betrayed by a random, like go on a 6-hour journey and then get shot in the face, and like the whole game chat thing to me just it really messed it up. And man, I was a huge critic of community service because I never experienced what you guys had to offer, and you guys have really opened my eyes into just what's possible. It's not all about 10 times loot. There are those hardcore servers out there, and there's thousands out there. You just need to troll through them and figure out what style you like to play. But I shied away from official because of that reason, I think, and it's just not as enjoyable. Like, people want to hear that
They do
dialogue.
talk less
They
now.
want to yeah, and everyone's in a party like Warden was saying. You run up to a random, it's like no mic, no life, and I don't know, to a random. I'm not a KOS player, and I like to be on stream. All shoot second. Like, I'll run up and be like, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, hey, we can be friends, man. What are you doing? Just chill the fuck out. Hey. Oh, I'm gonna have to kill you now. You fucked up. But it's just like that dialogue is so missing now from console streaming, and it's sad. And I think a lot of the viewers, they love watching Dayz, and I'm speaking for myself as an avid lurker in people's streams. I love that dialogue. I love those random interactions, and you never know. Like, I've met so many amazing people who are still friends to this day that I've played for years just from a random interaction. If I was KOSing, who's to say we might never have met? Got these great friendships. We go on runs all the time, and this whole game chat thing, it's pushed me away from official, and now it's just like there's no that randomness is kind of lost, because now I'm just playing with friends. I'm playing with people I already know, and it's very rare that you.
Oh,
have
how
those-
boring for you. Oh, how horrible.
I know. I know, right?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
It
Same
also
people.
plays.
That's it.
Day
It
in,
also-
day out.
With friends like yours, who
It
needs
also
enemies?
It also plays on, like, because everyone, well, I personally prefer parties, but you guys all prefer game chat. If we're in game chat and people are co-streaming, like Greedy and GTS Queen have been co-streaming a lot, and I like to watch, like, jump between them. If I want to get the full conversation, I have to have Greedy up all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm watching GTS Queen, it sounds like she's talking, like, one-sided conversation. Same with you, Trip. One-sided conversation because
Yeah.
you can't hear anyone. You have to watch the other perspective. And a lot of people can't do that. It's one or the other for a lot of people. I'm lucky enough myself to have numerous devices that I can have multiple streams up at once. A lot of people
Yeah,
can't
but
do that.
it depends on the type of streamer you are. I must say though, see, Trip though has the gift of the gab, and I've had
Sometimes.
really enjoyed watching some of his streams where he's having a run, and it'll be a solo run. But the thing is, working with his chat, sort of like a just chatting sort of thing, and it's really entertaining. It's what, because of the topics he's talking about, his engagement with the chat. So I think it solely comes down to the streamer, what type of stream that you have, and your own personality. If you can make that work, is what I'm saying. You make it work.
Yeah, you've pointed out though that's if he's running solo. A lot of times people are running in groups. At the moment, a lot of people are running in groups, and you're only hearing one side of the conversation.
Yeah, that is frustrating. It can be frustrating. Although, unless you repeat back what they're saying,
you were the first, one of the first ones to get the capture card, and you were getting like 20, 30 viewers just purely because everyone could hear everyone.
Yeah.
And it was something that everyone had got accustomed to. Oh, well, we're never going to be able to hear everyone's streamers. But you worked that out, help from Goblin, and that brought a lot of people back into the community of watching streamers. Oh, well, this person, we can hear the game chat, and then it helps with the engagement from chat. It helps with the engagement from in-game, and without that, I think a lot of streamers are struggling right now.
Yeah, 100%.
Myself included, because I find it. I know I've not shut up this entire fucking podcast, but when I'm streaming, if no one's talking in chat, I'm sat singing to myself. I haven't got the gift of the gab. I can't just talk about random shit all the time. That's why when there's a lull, if you come in and I'm singing to myself, it's because there's a lull. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to talk about. And you're not always going to get the interaction in chat. Like, there's times when I've got into Greedy's chat, no one's chatting, and then it's just a full line of me talking to Greedy. It's not just a big streamer, small streamer type thing. It happens to everyone, but Greedy can literally talk for hours. Trip can talk for hours.
Yep.
Well, it's good because then people watch the VODs back, I think they find it entertaining. But bring it. I mean, we've talked about it a lot, but just bringing it back with the whole, not being able to record now. I think the main thing is that human nature is when they think that they're on camera, or going to be recorded, they play up more. They will be a little bit more-ish.
Yeah, a bit more showboaty.
Now, I think, exactly. Yeah, and now that that's gone and they don't think that, that they're going to be on camera or captured, they just don't even bother. They just don't put in the effort anymore. They're just like, their normal boring selves walking around playing the game.
The time that you got raided by ADKcue, I would not know how to handle that at all. 100 plus people coming into your stream at once, I'd freeze. I'd be like, okay, bye, and shut the stream now, because I would not know how to react.
Just bail. Bail and shut it.
You do. You're like running away.
But it's right. It's very awkward having that many people. Yeah, that's right. It's definitely the hardest thing.
Like, when
I got
raids
raided by Gecko, that was so scary. I've just been in a fight, we had the most intense battle up north. I died, and just as I died, I was refreshing, and I was struggling. I was on the coast again. I couldn't find anything because it was totally tapped out. And Gecko Fish came in with 179 people, and I was just
shit.
I froze. I was like, fuck me, hello, welcome to the stream. I just froze it. But thankfully I was drinking at the time, so hopefully it didn't come across.
Everything went black after that.
You drink Trip and never knew that. But
and then he told the Peaches story, and they all left.
But it's also very daunting having.
Talking about Peaches.
It's also very daunting having a larger streamer come in, drop a large amount of people, because I don't know about anyone else. When I have it happen, in your mind you go, okay, this is X, Y, and Z raiding me with 50 people. They have the ability to capture and harness 50 people. Here's me talking about, and usually with that many people, it's a PC person. So here's me talking about a subject that 50 people aren't really interested. How do I, how do I harness or capture those people and keep them in without, you know, trying to move in my whole stance across to now talking about a subject that they want to talk about. You know what I mean? Going from console Dayz and then porting it across to PC Dayz to try and keep the followers.
Yeah.
It's a very
Gotta
hard.
keep that neutral ground.
That's right. You've got to keep that.
Yeah.
Well, at least some ability for 50 odd people who just walked in to be able to hang around and stay and listen to what you have to offer. But if you're console Dayz, the PC streamer's done a good thing for you. But now I think you're in a harder position because you're trying to now,
I think
you know, play a game that gets stipulated a lot in PC as the underdog.
yeah.
That's right.
I think a lot of it as well is when the bigger guys raid you and stuff like that, or you do get a raid, like a sizable raid, you might already be talking to your chat about one topic, and they're your loyal chat base. They're the people that's in there all the time, and then you get a fat raid, and you might be mid-conversation, your focus goes, oh shit, I'm getting raided, gotta welcome all these, and then your loyal base could also at times feel like you're forgetting them.
Yeah, or you
because
push
all
you
these
push
new
them
people that aren't
aside.
going to be here in the next stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, I've got a new toy now, sort of thing. It's that fine line of welcoming in the people that are raiding, that are dropping the follows because the person that's raided you said, like, drop the follows, like you say, spam the chat with emotes, stuff like that. You welcoming them in,
Oh, yeah.
but it's
You gotta
it's the
work
fine
with
line
the
of,
chat.
yeah, it's the
You
fine
know what I
line
mean?
of
You gotta.
welcoming them
They're your
in
family.
and keeping, yeah. Oh,
Right, and I
Smiley,
know
Yeah.
yeah,
for all of us here,
Yeah, well, that's
we're
how
all
I like my
relatively, you know,
my chat.
small streamers, so yeah.
Yeah, and everyone is like, you know, that's how I see. I don't like my stream isn't me. My stream is us. Like it's us. So when someone comes in, you know, what I do is, you know, like I say, oh look everyone, we got someone new. Let's bring him into the family. Like so you bring them in, bringing them into you. You got to bring them into your chat as well and make them feel homely. Like, oh, come in, have a seat on the couch next to Trip here, and you know, have a chat together. And,
Yep.
you know,
But it's also it's easy when it's one person, but when it's 50 and you're like, listen, I've got one spot here next to Trip. All 50 of you sit right there. That's right. It's,
squish
I got the
over.
talking
We're all
stick.
like squished in an elevator.
that's it.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
hard part about those kind of raids is like what you guys have touched on, but also I know I've watched pretty much everyone who streams here. I've been in your chats a lot, and we are the kind of people that like to give attention to everybody who's given their time to us. So if they're chatting, we want to read out every comment, we want to answer every question. We want to, like you said,
Yeah.
Smiley, you know, it's us. It's all inclusive. Everyone's welcome. Just don't be a dick, and you won't have any trouble.
No, I
Yeah.
like
How
it.
many times have we
I
all
like
stopped
it.
what we're doing in game to scroll back up and read back through the
100%.
messages to keep
Yep.
it so-
Exactly. When you get those, like, I don't even know how these bigger streamers can deal with it. I mean, a lot of them just like disregard them. You know, they're reading.
That's
every
why they have
one in
mods to
20
deal with it.
messages.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think that's something I would struggle with if I was to become a bigger streamer, because I like to give that time to each people.
Get those itty bitties
who are
out, Trip.
commenting, and when showing off my itty bitties, and
Lots of streams.
just I've been there for like 45 minutes, just sat in the house cooking meat, and then I've finished cooking the meat. I'm scrolling up and down, just having a chat. It's like a daisy, just chatting.
We all make the joke of Smiley streams. She's usually sat in a church for 4 hours, surviving, having a good old chat. Some of the best times have come from sitting in a church, just sitting in a group chatting.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
Sitting in a random building with a fire, talking to your chat, asking people.
Yeah.
A lot of it as well is people use watching streams as a way of escaping real life problems. They play games to escape
Yeah.
real life problems, and you sitting down and just chatting to them, making them the center of attention for that 5 minutes, 30 seconds, that helps
Yeah.
people so much and makes their days a lot better. and you don't know, that might save someone's life.
100%.
And that's
No,
the way
that's right.
it is.
And someone likes everyone. It's human nature. We all like to be a part of something. I think. Like I feel real like warm fuzzies being a part of this. You know what I mean? Like when I step in, you know, with you guys on a run, you know, you get that nice. You know, oh, this is where I belong.
Yeah.
You get those nice fuzzies, and I think that with chat as well. Yeah, with chat as well. You know, because before I started streaming, you know, I'd be in you know, other people's chats, and that was the same. It was like, you know, oh, you know, honey, I'm home. You know, you've done all your stuff for the day, and then you sit down, you crack a beer, and you open up the chat, and then, you know, as soon as you go in, all the familiar other chatters were like, oh, hey, how you doing? And you're like, oh, hey, you know, and you know, it's just sort of coming home to something and.
Well, it's like going to the
Yeah,
pub,
yeah,
the
it
old
just
school
feels
way
nice.
of going to the pub. You grab
Yeah,
yourself
go
a
to the
beer,
pub.
you know
Yeah,
your
that's probably
locals.
a better description.
Yeah, there's obviously
Yeah,
random
locals know you
people
and-
there you can say hello to that you might meet and start a conversation, but you
Yeah.
know your locals, you know the barman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It
it's
just
100%.
gives you that
Put it
nice
too.
sense of belonging. Yeah, nice
Yeah.
sense of belonging, and I think everyone wants that, needs that.
There's certain people that come into all of that. Well, not mine, because of issues, but they
We're
come
going to
into
follow
all
up with
your
some
guys'
questions,
chats,
ladies and gentlemen. So if you've got some
tell you how
questions,
their day
definitely
is,
drop
what
them in the
they're
chat.
doing.
We'll fire it to the
Every-
guys.
the people that are in here that know regular will probably know who I'm meaning. I'm not naming names for reasons. They come in, have their say, and they're like, right, I'm gonna go lurk. That's their release to, right, I need to vent. I'm venting it to this person, this community. Right, I feel better. And then they get on about their day. And that's
We
the
all
good
use,
thing
I guess,
a lot of
social
us
media,
don't.
Twitch,
Yeah.
streams in all different factors to, I guess, gain maybe the missing pieces that we feel that are in our lives.
What have you done?
It's definitely a platform that's opened me up to a lot of people who I've met over the last 2 years, to some of the, and over the last 4 years with Dayz in general. There's some people who don't play the game who are still in contact. But I do believe, oh shit, was that a nade?
Nah.
Shit. I'm just waiting for the bang and the red
I'm
screen.
more worried about Warden creeping out the back.
Yeah, he's going to get some guns because, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time that we have for the podcast. It was an absolutely wicked run through. We've spent the last nearly 2.5 hours chatting about the game we love. First of all, I'd like to thank our guests. One that's currently MIA, Mr. Warden, who's probably going to get some guns because he's got his guns. Kain Vorhees, appreciate you coming. Mr. Dmtripamine and FlameGuard. Absolute legends. You guys can draw fire once I finish the run through. Of course, we'd like to welcome our permanent co-hosts now. Smileysgotagun and ADKcue. They'll be more involved
thank you.
in rolling across, a little bit of the chat, bringing the chat across, also bringing their own questions. What they've got to offer, I think, is going to bring the little spice to the TPP. So we do appreciate you guys joining the team and welcome. Apart from that, that's
Thank you.
that is the show done and dusted. Just don't kill Greedy. I'll disappear in this corner. Oh, and that's how they do it, ladies and gentlemen. One hit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have time for the show. That's the Greedy Peasant Podcast done and dusted. We have our special guests, of course. FlameGuard, Kain Vorhees, Warden, and Dmtripamine. You definitely got to get out there and check these guys out on Twitch. And of course, Smileysgotagun, who's live on Twitch, and ADKcue, who's also on Twitch and is also on TikTok. These guys are absolute legends. If you go to the Greedy Peasant Discord, there is a whole run through of channels that you can go out there and check out the different guests that we're going to have on. Also a place to place your questions. We do accept the questions that you roll through. And we do appreciate each and every one of you coming.